Sorry, should I
All
just?
right. Are we rolling?
Yeah, I already started
rolling.
rolling.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
what
we're
editing
good.
is for.
Episode.
The magic of editing.
Wait, you want me to cut all that out before? Fuck no.
Leave it.
I'm not cutting a
good.
damn thing.
Just as an introduction to people watching, welcome.
Episode 31.
To my left, we have Eric. To my
And
far
Rob.
left, we have Rob.
Hi.
Oh my.
It's perfect.
Enjoyed this episode.
Should I
It's gonna
slate
be-
like an actress? Like, hi, Eric, LA Entertainment,
Speaking
30
of
years
mic a
old.
bit more.
I don't even know.
Yeah, you guys are really far back. That's all.
You guys can also
Like, you
adjust
just
that
like this.
however you
Also
want to do it.
scooch in. The mics
Bring
adjust
yourself
up
in
and
close.
down.
They go up and down.
Gotta sit with my back like perfectly straight. Keep that posture. It's important.
Fuck that.
Okay, this is called Barn Burner.
Barn burner.
Handcrafted Ontario whiskey. Double aged in oak bourbon barrels. 2020 Canadian Whiskey Awards Gold Award. I don't know.
I do want to throw it out there that you guys are our first guests to do whiskey reviews with us.
Ooh, don't we feel special?
Mm-hmm.
Are we just pouring our own? I feel like that's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to
Yeah, just pour your own.
be accurate.
There's ice in
with
that
how
bucket
much-
if you want, Rob.
Be fair.
I thought you were going to pour the whole thing in
I
there.
thought it was all going down.
That's perfect.
Rob, don't be nervous, please. It's just
Yeah.
us.
And again,
Don't make it awkward, man. What the hell?
I've-
Like you guys
I've
can
never
move the
done
mics.
this
You guys can
before.
hold the mics like
I might
whatever.
move it around a little bit, but can you hear that?
I've never done this
Yeah, you
before.
can hear
let's
that. That's pretty
not
loud.
move it around.
Kind of set it and
Scratch
forget it
that,
if you
I'll
can.
change.
If you want to do anything, take it out and
Take it
hold
out.
it.
Nah, it's too uncomfortable. I'd rather
Meh. Meh.
not. Mic check.
Sounds good.
It's good.
Perfect.
These are heavy.
Quality mics.
These are for clobber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're
Where did
dense.
you invest
Yeah,
in
we're
this?
Literally 2 weeks ago. Not even.
But
week
even
and a
like for
half.
the extra mics, you
We paid for all of this.
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
was the
The,
cost?
No, we're not going to talk
No.
about
Oh, okay.
Not
stop
on-
moving the fucking mics around.
We can talk about that afterwards.
God damn
Oh,
it.
okay.
You're like a
I'm just
child.
curious as to.
Yeah. We'll talk about it after. But it wasn't like thousands of dollars.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's good.
It was pretty reasonable to be split between
Well,
two
I mean,
people.
it's equipment that you can use. I'm sure
For
CJ
nothing
being
else.
in production
We're
and
fucking
video.
doing
This is
it.
actually, that mixer is for music recording.
Do you
Yeah, we
rap
can-
on the side? Is that
No,
Yeah, that's
we could, like, I could buy
When's the
drum
album
mics.
drop?
Yeah.
I could literally buy mics for my drum set and connect it all in here and like record shit.
Do you have an electric drum set or is it like a
No, but I could like,
You
again,
just get the audio
buy-
recording ones that like set up near
put
your
on
kit.
to
Yeah, like
okay.
they hang
Yeah,
off
yeah.
like your tom or the
Yeah,
bass
yeah,
drum
yeah.
or snare or whatever.
Oh, hi.
Rob.
What do you want?
I want you.
We
Is
just
Rob
want you
okay?
to participate.
Yeah, to just talk into the mic and be a friend.
How's everybody been doing with this
I wanted
whole-
to ask you what it was like in Quebec right now.
Actually,
Oh,
it was
God.
nice because it was the
It was bad for a while.
gyms
though.
opened back up. It was we moved there and we got to do nothing. So we moved there in like September and we got to do nothing. Nothing was open. No restaurants. No like even outdoor at that point was nothing was open.
Yeah.
So we were waiting for 5 months before anything opened up. I got to go to the gym 2 days and then they closed everything.
Was it Jim the big one for you?
The gym, yeah,
That
because
was your bugaboo?
I came from back home and I was like really into the habit of working out every day. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh fuck, can't. And they closed it down. And I was doing nothing at home but playing video games and fucking trying to walk because I hate running. So
Trying
I
to
would
walk, yeah,
like
I'm
10
with you.
kilometers a day or something like that. But
I
Walking
can't
10K
run.
versus running it is way better.
for
Every time.
joints and stuff, I guess. But like in terms of
I just meant
health.
like fun.
Easier?
Easier.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
yeah.
It's terrible to run that much, but it's good for you.
I don't know how.
I didn't. I guess I worded that like a fucking idiot. It's good
much
for
better
you.
for you.
No, not health wise.
I don't know how you run.
I barely run.
But you do run, and I don't understand how you do it. I did it for a week and gave up.
It's pretty easy
Instantly.
to
Rob would
give
like
up
to
on.
say something.
Oh God!
Can you please stop this
Yeah,
at this
can you-
point? Last one.
Hi.
Hi.
All right.
You can raise the mic if you want to.
Is there? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fancy stands, dude. How high do these go?
They go pretty high,
All right.
but like whatever's like.
Should it be sounding better? Like,
Yeah, it's just a little far away. That's all.
is it?
That's much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we're good.
Like you guys can pull in your chairs a little bit.
Well, I'd just
And
like
that
to
might
say
help.
cheers, folks.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
I
Nice to
already had a
see you
sip. and It's
guys
actually
again.
Nice to
pretty
see
good.
you guys. I'm excited for tonight.
I can't reach you, Chris.
Get this over with,
Dink.
Yeah, cheers.
Get this
and then
over
we
with.
can fucking
It's
party.
a fun
time.
time.
I know it's a
This
fun
over with. I
time.
enjoy it.
I enjoy it too.
I love doing the podcast.
Oh, whiskey. Rob, I don't know if you've seen the podcast, but don't say anything about the quality until the first glass is done.
No, you guys can say whatever you
Yeah,
want.
you
when.
guys
Oh, I
can
thought
have
that's
your
the-
own
what
standard.
No,
the new
no, I
thing
made
was.
but
that
also
up.
it changes every time.
It
Like
literally changes.
I
every-
also might I add that I hated the fact that you added a third digit into your latest review
me.
because yes, through my OCD. Well, I don't have OCD,
But at
just
least
made
it was
me
at
feel a
least it
little
was an
OCD.
even number. 7-5.
Yeah, I hated
suppose.
that as well. I just didn't want to say anything.
Well, as soon as I heard it, because I was listening.
Fucks up my
2
whole
days ago.
template for the post we do.
Did it really bug you that much?
Well, no, not really.
Come on,
but-
who does 2 digits after?
It was
Everybody
right
knows-
in the middle.
Everybody knows the rule. It's
Okay, so for the context, we drink whiskey every episode, or we try to.
yeah.
Other when we're
Except for
having.
the Mackenzie episode, you guys.
Well,
had
except-
cocktails.
There's been a
Yeah.
couple episodes where we did.
If we have people on, we don't usually like review anything. We just talk with them,
Hmm.
like now. But since you guys both like whiskey, we figured we'd pick one up and we could all try it together.
Yeah.
For the first time, so we usually do like a whiskey review. It's like 8.2. Apparently that doesn't bother anyone, but as soon as you say 8.75,
Yeah.
Eric has a panic attack about it that I'm just learning. Talking to the mic. Stop bleeding out. Bring this up to the table. It's fine. They're a sponsor.
There are sponsor. I wish.
That'd be cool, man. Red Bull, if you're watching.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Give us wings.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So Chris, on his latest review, decided to add a third digit into the mix.
Yeah,
when
he
usually-
did 2
so-
decimal points.
Yeah, and I was looking through CJ's Instagram post because he likes to put the picture of them up. With
with
their
our ratings.
review, with the ratings, and
it because you saw them side by side?
well, I was looking down, so then it's 8.2, 8.3, or 8.4 point whatever.
Yeah, and
but
now
then you have
all of a sudden-
8.75. I'm like, oh well, that doesn't look
6
right.
weeks later, Chris is putting a second decimal
30
point in
episodes
there.
in, you don't think you had set a rhythm in there?
It's the best
No,
part
it's
about just
definitely,
winging it.
We've only
You can
done
just wing
like
it.
If your palate's refined enough for that,
You might be able to go that
100th
precise.
decimal point.
And
that's true.
mine
Doing
is probably
something right.
shockingly bad. The shit that I like
Hey,
is
you've been
very
doing
specific to what
30
I like.
episodes now. I'm sure it's
But it's all pretty much the same shit. It's like bourbons, Irish whiskeys, Canadian rye.
I kind of want to dive into tequilas at one point.
Oh god.
What was the one
Honestly.
you gave? You gave like a. I was just quickly looking
A
through the Instagram.
6.2
Yeah, something low. Something
Oh,
low.
it was-
Santori or
It
something.
was
like,
it's in there. It's
Japanese
You
whiskey.
haven't even finished it.
it's a Japanese whiskey and it's a blend.
Did you give it a higher rating than CJ?
Mine was
I
like
think.
probably like around a 7 or
Seven,
6.9 or
Yeah,
something.
I didn't think it was good.
Sanduro?
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
The Japanese whiskey had no flavor.
just
It was-
burned.
Yeah, just burned. It just tasted like alcohol.
Heard people think it's good.
You want to try it?
You can literally have
Have
some,
you- have you
can
tried
have
it
some
before?
later.
I've had
It's
it.
you didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
Let's get Rob to give a late
It was
review.
boring as fuck.
Yeah.
I used to drink a lot of whiskey, but
Yeah, you're
This is
much more of a
probably-
connoisseur for us. For
I love
100%.
I used to.
I can't drink scotch. I hate scotch.
I don't
It's-
think
it's-
you hate Scotch.
No, I do.
Chris
I-
says this to
compared
me
to-
all
I
the
don't
time,
think
too.
you do. I used to hate Scotch before I liked any sort of straight liquor. But now that I drink
Don't get
straight
me wrong.
whiskey,
I'll drink
if-
scotch if it's the only thing around. I'll drink it.
Really?
Why
It's
not?
that?
No, yeah. If I have literally anything else to choose from, that's getting chosen. I can't. Like, just it's the burned wood flavor.
but they have
that I
a
just
bunch
do
that are
not-
actually. Let Rob tell you about them.
You're drinking the wrong scotch.
I guess.
You're probably drinking an Isla. Very smoky,
Okay.
strong.
Yeah.
You should try Highland.
Okay.
Tastes a lot more.
And what brands are like? Because normally when I've tasted like a scotch or whatever, it's like even Johnny Walker. But like the difference between like a blue label and like a black label, like what's the difference?
Huge.
I know huge because I know the
Yeah.
price difference of those, but like to me, they both taste bad. Like, I don't like it.
That's fine. If it's that, it's that.
And like black label is like what, like almost $200 bottle?
No, it's not that much. It's
No.
like
We
$60 maybe.
What
Is it
we
blue
have-
label that's more
The
expensive?
blue's
Okay.
more than the black.
Blue is $300 a bottle.
I was at a-
$200 a bottle.
I was at a buddy in Ottawa not that long ago, and he had blue label, and I offended him because first of all, we were like, oh, pour some whiskey. I was like, okay. And then I put ice in my glass, and he's like, don't drink that with ice. I was like, why? And he's like, you're not supposed to. So I was like,
That's
very
bullshit.
confused.
You drink whiskey however you want to drink whiskey.
He says, you're not supposed to dilute that or whatever. I don't know. You know.
The temperature, you can't taste things when they're cold as
Yeah.
much.
Oh, okay. So I guess it depends on what you're looking for out of your whiskey. So for
I don't
me,
know, I like my drinks cold.
Yeah, me
so I'm
too.
always going to drink it with ice,
me too.
whether they want me to or not.
Again, we're not professionals at this.
No, but again, if you're going to drink whiskey and you like ice in it, or if you like 3 drops of water, have it with 3 drops of water.
I
The
remember
water, I feel like the ice is like a slow release of water, so
It
it
is.
slowly dilutes it.
What's your stance on it? Are you anti-ice? I've seen
These
you drink
days, always ice.
them. Yeah.
It's kind of like if your palate's not used to drinking straight alcohol,
Mhm.
when you do it for the first time in a while, it's
Too much.
too much.
Yeah.
Your body's like poison.
Get out of me.
Yeah.
Be gone, witch. It is rough.
Yeah.
What do you think of that straight up? Or did you try it?
It tastes like poison.
Yeah. It tastes like alcohol.
It's great
When was the last time you actually
poison.
drank?
Whiskey like this? Years.
Oh, been a while.
Like without ice? Long time.
What's the occasion now? Just the podcast?
Friends.
Friends.
It's
Well,
a
we're all
baby.
drinking ice. You don't have to feel like
I'm having
you
a
need to
baby
drink
and
it
we're
straight.
celebrating.
Yeah.
Yes,
Impromptu.
this is exciting. So this is going to be the last hurrah before.
We should spray paint the walls. I think we should
I'm
go
in.
fucking crazy.
You want to
I'm
do
in
more
Draw
work? until-
quotes on the walls again?
What was that one?
Remember when your house was being repainted?
Oh yeah, right
And-
before I painted
and
it.
maybe I did 1 or 2 more than everyone else, just wrote random messages for the painter.
In the basement.
All
Over.
the
There was
house.
a big one in the main room, I think,
Yeah.
right? Don't remember what they said.
Most of them were quotes within dicks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like the dicks were quotations.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Nice little curve.
Yeah.
Was it like 2 dicks side by side, or was it just like one on each side?
We probably did it at a blackout drunk point.
Yeah.
And it was hard to, it's pretty foggy for me to remember. And I lived there for like weeks afterwards
Was that at the
with that
townhouse?
shit on the walls. That was at the townhome, yeah.
Oh my God. I
That was
remember
a-
when you guys did that.
Some good
I
times.
forgot about it until
I
you
think
just
I
said it.
wrote on the wall too at one
I'm
point.
sure we all did.
We all did.
Chris is like, I'm going to redo the walls
The-
anyways.
There was also, and I just for context, Rob likes to fuck with shit in my house, which I think is hilarious. My wife finds a little less funny.
We hit,
Mildly
but that's-
we hit
but-
so much. Like,
Well, that's
we changed.
this is what I was gonna get to. So Rob usually will like put shit amiss, and it's usually like funny to find. It'd be like, let's say like that sign's always there. Tomorrow it'll be like 3 inches higher, or it'll be on a different counter. It's just like annoying shit, and you might never notice ever.
Yeah, that's fair.
But there was one night where Rob, I guess you guys better off tell the story. I think you like let him in on your little secret,
You
and
were having a house party.
you guys fucking destroyed the place.
No,
Like,
we didn't destroy it.
No, we were very neat. I think we
when I say destroyed, I just mean like it was actual disarray.
well,
It wasn't like it was like
okay,
okay,
so
so
this
like
is how it
that's
happened.
filled with toilet paper.
The-
That's like
the organizational structure of your kitchen before that night was disarray.
That's fair.
They were
You're
actually
welcome.
trying to help.
that is fair.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You guys just
So-
gave feng shui to it.
Your plates
Yeah.
belong in the
Feng shui,
freezer.
that's right.
So this is how it happened because Rob's like messing around. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, yo, help me move some shit. Like
These are my treasures.
we're gonna take the blender and put it in the oven, and we're gonna like we're just dumb shit like that. We're gonna take the oven rack and put it in the fridge. Like just like I don't think it was that far, but
no.
we were moving some
It's
dumb
usually
shit.
pretty minor, and it's usually
but it's like
amusing.
little things
But a
that
lot
you
of
use on a
stuff.
It was
regular
this time.
basis.
It was just a
we
lot.
would move.
Yeah.
It was just everything was
But yeah,
like
he had an extra
the whole
set of
place.
hands.
The last time
Yeah.
you wanted to just
and you were getting into it obviously
Oh,
because
yeah,
you're
it
like,
was
oh, I
so
didn't know
much
about
fun.
this game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
it was
party.
So much fun.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
I remember being upset that you didn't have multiple boxes of cereal because I wanted to switch the bags of cereal.
That's genius.
I
You want some
probably
Fruit
had
Loops in the morning. He's
Yeah.
getting shreddies.
I probably had a box of original Cheerios was the one, or it was Shreddies.
Good for the
Yeah.
heart.
That would have been
It's
the
good
only
for the
things I
heart.
That
had.
was it.
Yeah. Honey Nut is gross. I'll go to my grave for that.
So
Do you
I-
put sugar in your like Cheerios? When
No.
So just
Nah, if
plain
you get
old
regular,
Cheerios.
if you get regular Cheerios, you just gotta have that shit straight up.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
It's like
But,
the
come
difference
on,
between
honey-
like
you don't like Honey Nut Cheerios?
No.
Mm.
They make
You're
them make,
fucking weird.
they make them sweet.
well, what about
Cereals
for like
in general
cornflakes,
is
like
boring.
frosted
Are you
flakes
87?
versus regular?
Yeah.
flakes?
He is 87.
Just get some like brand cereal, like whole brand. Just,
And then
Chris
also-
is like, that's my favorite.
Shred- Shit. Have you guys heard of Weetabix? Shreddies has a honey one, like a honey flavor. They have
Yes.
Shreddies?
plain boring,
Love it.
or they have a honey one. I'm going.
no, I like the
Every
plain
time.
one.
I like
I've had
the
both, and
the
I like
plain
the plain
is
one better.
fantastic,
It's just
but I
too
like the
sweet.
honey every once in a while.
No.
Is that wrong?
You kind
I also drive around with my seat warmer on in the summertime, so
yeah, that's weird.
I'm not on the same
You
plane
love
as most
You're
swamp
people.
keeping your
ass.
back like nice and.
Thank you.
It's like if your back
Thank you.
I've done it before. Actually, I was leaving.
I keep the AC on, so I'm always cool. I'm at the right temperature.
But
and
your
then at
back
least
is
my
nice
back
and
is nice
loose,
and
yeah.
loose and
'Cause you're
massaged.
fucking
You don't get
easy.
moist?
No,
Dude,
I would put the AC on and keep it like
I would be
all the way
drenched.
cold and just blaring, and I'll
But
have the back warmer on full blast.
No, thank you.
I would have some
See, I don't even
crazy
have to have the back
swamp
warmer
ass.
on to like get out of my car in the summer and have like my whole back is just like
Yeah.
drenched. Like I'll have
Drenched. Yeah,
stains in the back of my shirt just because
that'd be me.
driving because I have leather seats too, right? So just driving down the. I could
Yeah.
keep all the windows open, the air
You might as
conditioning
well,
on, but I
might as
still
well
have-
wear a garbage bag when you have leather seats and they're hot.
getting in
It's-
the car is brutal.
I don't know how you do that. Honestly, I
I
would.
can't do it anymore because the Lamborghini doesn't have
It
it.
doesn't have it. Eh?
I'm-
Should have upgraded.
Apparently, it costs $200. There's a place in Aurora that'll do it.
To
Really?
put leather on?
No, they'll put a seat warmer in your
into the
car,
Oh, okay.
and I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna do
'Cause
it. That's
this
actually
winter-
pretty cheap.
It was the winter time that got like I'm not so concerned about the summer.
Are they
It would be
leather?
a luxury
Are your seats?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it, and I would use it every day.
every single day, but in the wintertime it was pretty rough.
Are your
because
seats leather in there?
no, they're
You
like
should
that
just get one of those
shitty
like
cotton.
icy hot patches and just slap it on there every time you get in the car.
I think those things are medicine. I don't think you should just be applying those to your body every day just because your back's cold.
Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Couldn't harm it.
It's worth.
but I
Is it
don't
gonna
need
hurt?
icy
Yeah.
hot. I just like to be loosey goosey in the lower back
But that'll
area.
help.
It might
You
be
got a
better.
bad back, eh?
Yeah.
Might turn into a new kind of
Got a
problem.
bad back in your old age?
No, I don't.
He's trying
What
to
do you-
prevent the bad
Oh,
back.
yeah,
That's
okay.
this is
I just get up so
anticipatory.
fucking early. Your body's like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna loosen
Eat
up
shit.
in an hour being in the car. The seat warmer maybe just helps a bit.
Okay. I can
I wouldn't.
I can
no,
get on that.
Luckily,
I can get by
I can
that.
get on that.
That's all I'm saying.
But like
You throw it
midday, come on. You got that shit on midday on your way home from
Each-
work?
Yeah, sitting on the Don Valley
2
Park.
o'clock in the afternoon.
Jesus Christ. I'd be
You guys should
Dead.
try it.
No,
I do have one.
I don't
guys
have
don't need
I don't
it.
have
No.
seat warmers.
I have the butt warmer, so I don't have the actual one that goes up the back, but it usually gets hot enough that it'll like come up.
Yeah,
Slightly.
if it was
You
a
got
straight,
the-
if it was a straight out, I should have been more specific. The ones that I had in the Civic were they went up the back.
yeah.
They also did like the ass warmer. I would not drive around with just an ass
you
warmer
choose-
because it would be just a swamp.
Swamp
Would be
ass.
caught dead.
It would be horrible.
That's the
But
swamp ass
If
edition.
you could just do the back portion, I would be happy as a pig and shit.
yeah.
That's my dad has like the F-150, and that's one of the things
You can
that it has.
adjust
You
those
can
ones,
choose
too.
which one it does, so it can do like butt,
That's
back,
kinda
or
nice.
both.
Does
or
his do
one.
the AC as well?
It does do the cooling too, right? Yeah, Which
It's like a
is-
fan.
Yeah, but
blowing
you would
up.
never use that. What are you talking about?
I've used it before in hot leather, but my old, just for context, my old car didn't have any leather seats.
Mm.
It was the cotton one, so I didn't have the option for cooling either. But I've been in hot leather cars, like after you get in, like been parked in a lot for an hour,
Yeah.
and it's black.
On the beach or
You
something?
get in there and it's fucking hot as shit, and then you sit down, and the cooling is kind of nice.
Yeah.
because you're already warm. Whatever. I just like it for driving. If like you're gonna be there for a long time,
I
just
feel like I'm
loosens
going
you
to
up.
fall asleep when I'm using that though. If I'm driving, especially if I'm driving a long time, and you have the. That's why even I can't really keep the heat on for too long when I'm driving for a long time because
You get
it's like
tired?
the same effect as like when when you're driving along and you have the sun coming in and you're just like falling asleep because it's like just
Never,
warm and
never
nice.
experienced that.
Really?
Not
maybe
with
I
the
have a problem
sun. When it's dark, empty roads will put me to
It's the
sleep
sun that always
Yeah.
does it
very
for me.
fast.
Yeah.
Like too fast.
See, to me, driving still feels like a carnival ride.
You're nervous when
So
you're
I'm
driving.
always
always high alert.
Yeah.
Always fun.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe I'm too relaxed while driving.
Yeah.
To pay more attention.
Get some
yeah.
fear in you.
Yeah.
Next week, just drive straight into a wall. And that'll wake you up for at least
God.
10
Just to
years.
keep yourself
I
on
might
your
never
own
drive
toes.
again if
Yeah.
that's the case.
I've been like catching myself doing really dumb things behind the wheel, and I think I need to get a bit more fear back in me. It's put fear into me.
Hey, pick a wall.
Yeah. Or another car.
Pick a wall that's. Oh, jeez. I kind of put.
Let's be
in there.
honest. It's not like you're not going to drink it.
Oh, I'm. Oh, that's
Don't
not
be
what I said.
ashamed.
I just didn't want to take it away from you guys. I got to.
No,
Be even.
we
Should
got
try it
plenty, we
with
got
a bit of
plenty
Red
of
Bull.
whiskey.
Oh God.
I'm not gonna mix it like that. That just seems rude.
I don't know how you
Red
drink
Bull. on the
Red
side. I
Bull.
can mix it in the mouth. Like I don't have to swallow the Red Bull first, and I can.
Sexual.
Yeah, put some semen in your mouth and mix it around with Red
Yeah.
Bull. There you go. There's a good girl.
That's not good. Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know. I like the whiskey.
prefer the-
I've put Red Bull in way too many things than I care to share.
I kind of just feel like
Like
I needed
growing
like
up,
an
I'm
extra.
very intrigued now.
Like any alcohol drink you've ever made in your entire life, I've had with Red Bull. in
Vodka
it.
Red Bulls are like a classic, but what have you? Not like
put
a
them
brown.
I put
like
them
a
in
brown
beer a lot.
Beer.
What?
Yeah, because like I would only drink beer at certain points, and then if you have a Red Bull, I'd just be like, fuck it, I'll
Fuck
put it in
it.
there.
I'll
Yeah.
kill it.
Like
You still drink
a
Red
red
Bull?
Solo cup with beer,
Yeah,
like at a
okay.
kegger. I think I've put.
Oh, definitely.
If
I've
you're
done
drinking
that.
like
I think we've
Wellington,
done that.
Well,
Wellington
as soon as
beer, then
Jager
you need to add
bombs
something
became
to it.
popular, that just gave everyone permission to mix Red Bull with
with
That's a
everything.
good
Yeah,
one.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
red wine. Let's do it. Had a Jager bomb once.
God.
Same
Dude,
thing.
I mixed white
That's a good
and
point.
red wine with Coke when I was in grade 6.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
were you sick?
Nope. That was like the first time I like had alcohol.
Oh my god.
The first time I
Like
had
more
an
than
alcohol-
like a sip.
I got to hear this story. Did you like steal it from your parents? Where
No,
were
so
you?
we were at my like great uncle's 80th birthday party out in Sault Ste. Marie.
Mm.
They're all Italians. So there's like 7 bottles of wine on every table.
Which was
and-
probably made in their basement that
Steal
morning.
one.
No,
off the
It
table.
was like so wherever we were, it was like their house wine or whatever. And so our one uncle comes over and he's like, "You guys try the wine yet?" And Mike and my cousin are older.
But they're
So they're
still in
like-
public school.
They're still
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right,
Like,
got
my
it.
brother's in grade 8, and I think my cousin was grade 9. That
So they're
or
12?
8 and 7,
Got it.
whatever. And so they're like, no. And so like my brother starts to have some, and he's like, try this, and it's like tastes like ass. So he's like, let's go get Coke, and we put Coke in it. And yeah, it was
So you guys
hilarious.
made
But
like
we
a-
would like take a couple sips out of the Coke and put the wine in it, so nobody knew we were drinking wine.
Mm.
But yeah, we drank a couple bottles.
Did you and your brother drank a couple
and my
bottles?
cousin, yeah.
How drunk were you?
I don't really recall.
That's fine.
My brother and my cousin were. I think my cousin threw up that night.
I would say like a couple bottles of wine now, I'd be very sick.
Oh,
yeah, but that's like
Yeah.
that's between 3 of us.
Yeah, but 3 small kids.
Yeah, you guys.
I
were
wasn't
chill-
small. Let's be honest.
All right, but
Oh,
hang on a
well.
second, just for the context.
I think I
You're
weighed the
fucking
same back then.
6 years old or whatever.
You're
a child.
You think I weighed the same 200-pound 6-year-old? Get out of here.
not 6. I was in grade 6.
Oh,
I think
okay.
you said 6
Did I
years
say-
old.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I might
I'm
have.
pretty sure.
You're
But I-
10. Like as if that's any
Big
better.
difference. Big difference.
Although it is funny when you're 10 and then 4 years later you're like, I'm an adult now.
yeah.
Like when you think
Yeah,
about
when
it,
you
you
think you're
start
14
drinking when
years
you're
old, you're like,
14.
yeah, okay.
yeah, I was gonna say I was drinking when I like going to parties at 14. I'd go to Niles's, next door neighbor.
Yeah, I guess.
I think one of the first memories I have of like drinking was I was with actually Bryce Dickinson.
Okay.
Remember Bryce? And my mom, this was back when my mom was like, we were living in the townhouse by
Yeah.
I'd be there.
Yeah.
And she used to party a lot with the friends in like that area.
It was like
She
a
used to buy those.
cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she used to buy those like buckets of wine, you know, like the ones you get made. And she would always have it in the fridge. And so we never were really tempted to do it, but I think we were just so Bryce was over for a weekend or something like that. And we just got like the inkling to try some wine. And we ended up going to the convenience store that was behind the house there. We just grabbed some slushies and then we brought it back and like drank half and then filled it up with wine. We
Nice.
ended up getting wasted.
Hammered.
Why was like wine like the first thing?
Mine was
I think it's like the most accessible.
Really?
Yeah.
Kahlua.
My parents had this weird liquor cabinet and it was only filled with shit they didn't drink.
Right.
When I was growing up, my parents didn't drink a lot of wine or liquor. They were big beer drinkers,
Right.
like I guess around this time. And then, so the shit they would have on piles, like random stuff people would bring over. And Kahlua was one of them. And I never saw them ever drink Kahlua. So me and my cousin,
They don't use this.
my cousin Andrew, we were like, oh, maybe we'll drink Kahlua. And we like try to like what does Kahlua drink with? I don't know if we put it with milk or we put it with something like,
Fuck.
I don't know. We drank some
Hot
of it
chocolate.
and thought we were drunk, but I'm sure we weren't.
Oh, maybe it's what, like 12.
Yeah, like
That's
again,
the first
I don't
time I ever like
remember.
tried it without
I probably
and then I didn't
was,
drink
but like,
until another 4 years after that.
oh, that was so
I think that
long
was
ago.
bad. I don't. Why do people do this?
I do remember because I think when grade 9 first started, you and I were smoking a lot of weed.
Yeah.
Like I never drank.
No,
the
because
first,
I
like-
would come over to your place and we like sit in the hot tub or whatever.
Yeah, my
Me and
parents-
Braden, right? We would
yeah,
go-
remember my parents would be like, it would be like a Friday night. We're
They'd leave us
14,
home alone
and they'd be like,
order us pizza.
here's a pizza we just ordered from you. We'll be back in 5 hours.
Where were
We're
they
like,
going that time? During that
I have
time,
no idea. They were probably going to swingers
their own
parties. Now that
party.
I think about it.
Probably.
We were more scared of the spiders in the gazebo than we were of your parents
Oh, I
catching us
remember.
drinking.
Yeah, we spoke about
Or
this. Like,
pissing on that bush.
here's a fun like, just because I have that bush got destroyed.
Yeah, died
Half
Bush in
of
the
it.
every
fence.
year.
You know, one of my favorite memories of partying at your parents' place was me I think I crashed on your couch, and then your mom
On
was
Barley?
up with Barley, because I was spooning Barley because he wanted to get on the couch too, and I'm sleeping with Barley. And then your mom came down like 6 a.m.
Coronation
to watch
Street.
Coronation Street. I just remember waking up, and she didn't even move me. She was like, "Oh, you can go upstairs if you want." I'm like, "No, I'm okay." And I just kept laying down. And then so I watched Coronation Street with your mom,
yeah.
super hungover at fucking 6:30 in the morning. Still don't like the show.
It's a
terrible show.
Moral of the story: I hate Coronation Street. That show.
That might have instigated the hate, but I continue to hate.
My cousin has like vivid memories of Coronation Street growing up, because that show's been
Really?
on for like literally 60 something years.
Yeah, it's-
Straight.
Yeah.
Started in the 50s.
It must be
Actually?
good.
Yeah,
I never
actually,
really
so
gave
yeah,
it the
my-
time, but-
Holy fuck.
So he because he gets horrible hangovers, and he's like, every time I hear that theme song, I feel nauseous. Because he
He's
just
been
because it was always,
conditioned to hate
always
it,
like
yeah.
Sunday mornings. For those who don't know how Coronation Street worked, and those who grew up in Coronation Street households, I feel bad for you. But it was on like a half-hour episode was on every weekday, or if you missed any on Sunday, they would run it for like
a marathon. Yeah, for
They
like
would do a
4
marathon
hours.
of the week's episodes.
all day.
So it started at like 6 a.m. and ended around noon.
Okay.
So in
So
his
that's the rest of
mind,
the day.
he's waking up between those hours, hungover as shit, puking. And as he's puking in the toilet, all he hears is that fucking stupid,
Oh my god.
I don't even
horrible
know how it
theme
goes, to be
song.
honest.
It's like, dude, I can't even do it. It's too bad. It's too bad. But
Can you do your best, please?
yeah. I think.
I think that might be CSI.
Is that CSI? I thought CSI was Balbo O'Reilly.
Oh yeah,
The Who was always the CSI.
It was the Who.
There's
It was
two.
the Who. There is 2 versions.
There was
though.
3.
It's
There's
different.
like 7 CSIs, let's be honest.
They did 3.
But how many songs?
3 different Who
think-
songs.
I don't
They
know.
were all Who songs.
I don't
The
know.
first
I
one-
should know
the
this.
first-
My dad watches that shit like it's going out of style.
I remember being on in public school. The first CSI was Who Are You by The
big
Who.
show.
Yeah.
CSI Miami was the next one, and that was Won't Be Fooled Again by The Who.
Mm-mm.
And then CSI New York had Balbo O'Reilly as their one, all from The Who.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah, my dad watches that shit like it's the greatest show on
Stepdad's an
earth.
NCIS guy.
My mom was never really like a sitcom watcher, but I remember being
Really?
at my aunt's hungover, and she used to watch Young and the Restless all the time. And that's still a show that's
That's still on, and that's been on for a long time too.
What a terrible, terrible show.
My uncle was telling me when he was living with my dad when they were growing up, like 19 or 20, living in the city alone, just young tradesmen. My dad would get home, like be working outside all day, come home, sit on the couch, and be Young Restless. My uncle,
Your dad-
he would
show
come
was
home.
Young and the Restless?
He would come home, and every fucking day, my dad'd be asleep on the couch, Young and Restless, blaring on the TV. Like, okay,
Your dad doesn't seem the type of person that would watch Young and the Restless. Maybe I don't know your dad that well, but
I don't think anyone knows my dad that well.
no, that's true. He's a mysterious.
He is
guy.
a man.
He
He's
is.
an international man of mystery.
He's a Russian
And
spy.
I've known him my entire
we
life.
Debunked it. I thought we debunked it in the summer. He's a Russian spy.
Yeah,
I thought I got pretty close to him that one night we were at the bar
in Montreal.
No, when well, that too. That was a good time. But I
That
was
was
talking
fun.
about
That was a
for
good
the soccer game.
the Liverpool game. Yeah, when CJ tied my shoes under the table.
Oh yeah.
I almost tripped on my way out of the bar.
Totally
man.
forgot about
That
that.
was worth it. I don't know if I've ever laughed so hard in my life just watching that happen. I like couldn't breathe.
I look at
Did
that
you
photo
know-
from time to
yeah,
time.
I still have it on my
yeah,
phone
man.
too.
Did you know
Yeah.
that was happening at
I
the
don't
time?
remember. I think it was
No, he
just
didn't.
way too
I didn't
drunk.
think
That's why I was laughing
That's
so
why
hard
it was
because I
so
was
good.
sitting beside
Because
you.
you tied it around like a pole, right?
Well, yeah,
Tied them around
My
the
feet were-
table.
yeah.
Your feet were literally under my chair. I'm like,
I think I was like real relaxed.
you were
at that
super
point. I was
relaxed.
just like,
you
You
would
were
kick me every once in a while, and I'm like, yo,
Dude,
Eric, stop fucking kicking my chair.
wasn't
And
on
then you would
purpose.
like do it again. I'm like, yo, fuck this guy. So I moved over and I tied your shoes.
I could not
And
breathe.
Chris was dying. I'm like, chill, man. Like,
That's
But he wasn't
I don't think I
paying
realized
No, I
anyway.
know.
To
It's
be
like-
honest, I don't quite remember.
it's
No,
like
you-
the time
you
at the golf
realized-
course.
You realized,
And then I didn't care.
but then you forgot.
And then
So I
you tried to
thought-
get
no,
up
no,
tried
no,
to
no,
move.
and just about killed the people behind you
You're
because
like-
you were on a universal bench. So it was there, like,
almost pulled the whole bench off.
well, there was a bench, but there was people sitting on the other side of it, and it moved. It wasn't bolted to the ground. And then you like flailed, and then you flailed your body back, taking the table. There was people sitting behind you. They're like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm gonna have to find a
I was
picture
rocking
of
a
this.
beard there too. Jeez.
Yeah, that photo, you didn't know that they were like that.
Was
So
I just holding
that's
my
why I
leg?
was dying so much because you were that CJ took that
I'm
photo.
gonna- I'm
That's
gonna
why I
wait
was
for it.
dying. You're sitting there. CJ's like smile. You're like, you're fucking.
Wait, was that
That
when
night,
we were getting oysters? Was that the?
That was
That
at
was
Cachet.
Cachet.
which we got kicked out of.
No, we didn't.
No,
we got
we
kicked
didn't.
out of the first place. Cache loved us. They were
Yeah.
great with us.
You guys were.
Your
No, the
dad's
first place we
friend
tried
was
to go-
walking around
Yeah.
outside with.
Yeah, just don't say any names. But yeah, he was.
I don't know his name.
That was when we were leaving though.
Pantless Wonder.
You guys,
Cache was where they had the pianist.
yeah,
right.
they-
Yeah,
we were there the whole
singing
time.
like crazy.
I thought we got removed from there for yelling.
No, there was
at
the
No,
one before.
that was
I
the
think-
place.
I think
No,
they-
but the place before didn't remove us until they said that they weren't going to serve us, and we're like, "Why aren't you going to serve us?" They're like,
You're
"Oh,
too
you
drunk.
guys are drunk." We're like, "Why'd you let us in?"
yeah.
They thought we were gonna get food. No.
Well, we were.
Yes, but we also
all
You
had
wanted
meals
drinks
at
too,
Cache
yeah.
when we went.
I just
there.
remember eating. What were we eating? Oysters? Were we eating oysters, or was it clams or something like that?
I don't know.
maybe mussels.
I
Mussels-
only
mussels
showed
have
up for a couple hours and then I had to pick up Audrey or some shit.
So we started
Oh, yeah,
that.
good time.
We started that morning at
Go.
what time did we get there?
Go.
11
We
a.m.
went there
You and I
11.
went
Yeah,
at
we went
11 to
early.
get a table. You guys showed up around 3 or 4.
Your dad
No,
came at
I didn't.
like
I didn't
1 or
show up
something
till
that.
like fucking midnight.
Rob came at 3. You came with. I thought you came with CJ to watch the game at 3 or 4.
I think I
No,
came by
I missed the
myself.
game. I was doing
Okay.
something during the day, and then I met up with you guys at Cache. It was like fucking 11 o'clock at night or some shit.
That was one of my
And then
favorite
I
recent
left
memories.
around like 1.
Well, anyway, we went back up to the goat and we were there until 3 in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, good night.
It was one of the best days ever.
Oh,
Champions League
shit.
final 2019.
The year before that, we were in Calgary.
Yep.
Yeah.
Watching
re-
the same
so,
same team in the final lose,
Mhm.
except this time.
So
they won.
like when I was tying your fucking shoes, Chris is over there pissing his pants laughing. I'm like, hey guy, like just keep it together for like 30 seconds. Let me tie his shoes. When we were at the golf course, it was me, you, Antonia, and Audrey, and they were our caddies driving around. I don't know what the fuck happened to my cart, but on the 18th hole, we were like fucking around racing back to the cars.
Okay.
And I smoked out the 18th hole. It was burning something. Okay? So like if you fuck up a golf cart, you gotta put your information down.
Yeah.
I'm like, Chris is in the
I
parking
remember
lot
this now.
dying. And like the clubhouse is right there.
Okay, let me explain it from my point
And,
of view.
and then yeah, wait. And I'm getting back to the car and I'm like, what are you laughing at? 'Cause
forgot
I have
about
no idea.
Uh-oh.
And Chris is like, look behind you, and it's fucking smoked out. I'm like, bro, keep it together for like 5 seconds. I just
couldn't.
left the cart there. I'm like, I'm
Put the keys on
out of
it. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
gone.
the context of this golf course is like it's everything starts up high and then you work your way down into a valley and you don't come out of the valley until the halfway, like the 10th hole and the 18th hole. So you go in at the first, you
Mhm.
come out at the 10th, and then the 18th. Otherwise, you're way down in the valley. And I was ahead of CJ, and I didn't know that this was happening. I knew his cart was like fucking around. It was going really slow.
It was really slow.
And so we get up to the parking lot, which is at the end of the 18th. And so the 18th hole is like, it's a pretty good hill. It's like 30-degree angle hill, and it's
Mhm.
a long par 5. So it's a long hole, and it leads down to the rest of the course, which is in this valley.
Okay.
So we come up, and I look, and CJ's like, there's something wrong with this car. It's like smoking.
It kind of
And I'm
smells
like,
bad.
okay. And I look behind me, and I'm not exaggerating. The entire valley, like the
It's-
entire
it's
the
smoked
entire
out.
golf course is
You created a fog.
exhaust
Yeah.
fumes. It was insane. I've never seen a
Jeez.
car put off
A golf cart.
let alone a golf cart, put out that much exhaust. And I think
So there were gas carts. They were
I think
better?
you-
there had to
fucked
be
it.
gas in them because
Yeah,
there
it
was
has to be.
poison
I think
pumping
you
out of them.
fucked it though,
Jeez.
because we were sitting at like
Don't blame me for your
the
golf cart.
16th hole, and then I think in my cart, you went up against it and you started doing a burnout.
So it's being
And-
pushed
and it's
when it
just
doesn't
like-
want to go.
Yeah, and then like after that, we left, and my car was fucked after that
Yeah, I was double.
because it was fine the rest of the day.
I forgot about that until you said it.
Yeah, that shit was.
That
I'm
killed
like,
me.
Chris, just keep it together. Like, just get in the car. You can piss your pants all you want, but you're causing a scene. They're gonna come out. I'm gonna have to pay for this.
It was
I was,
absurd. I wish I photographed that because it looked like
Oh,
it was around sunset
I can
time, so it
picture
looked
it.
like a nice like dew had settled into the valley, but it was just CJ
It
driving.
was just on the 18th.
You know, in 101 Dalmatians, where how Cruella DeVille's car just like shoots out all the dirty gas and like she like leaves a trail everywhere she goes. That's what it looked like,
Yeah.
except it just
It
smoked up
Just
the
the
whole
filled-
place.
polluter of the golf
Literally
course. Right?
filled the 18th hole.
One of the
It
best
was-
things I've ever seen in my life.
It was insane how much smoke actually came out of that thing.
I remember I was golfing with some of the the Saga guys like
Mhm.
Chech and we had Brian Barron with us too. And
Yeah.
Brian Barron, I believe it was. I don't know if I'm remembering right, but I'm pretty sure it was Brian Barron. And they were kind of messing around in the car. We were all driving together. We were driving the next hole, and we were coming down this hill. and Brian's trying to drift in the cart. Not a good idea. So we came down, and it's like a little paved street that's coming down to the next green, and it takes like a little bit of a sharp turn to the right. And so Brian tries to drift this turn. It takes a 90-degree turn.
Golf carts
and
don't
it
handle
goes,
well.
and on the side there's like, you know, a barrier, little like
Yeah.
parking barrier or whatever, and then there's like a drop into like river, into like just bush.
Fuck.
Straight off
the cliff?
off. It's not a cliff, it was like a hill. Like
You're
it
going.
flipped upside down. I think it was
Holy
him.
Fuck.
Dickerman was in the cart, and they just went right over, and they so they had to.
Were they fucked up?
Well, we couldn't get it out. They had to.
Like, were they injured?
alive?
No,
That's
they're
what I mean.
fine. They're fine. Dickman had to take his weed out of the car before they came to investigate what happened there, but it was fine.
There was a guy in my dad's golf group, same thing. It was the golf course right by you. And it's one of the par threes, and you come around, same thing. And it's a steep drop into a river with like jagged rocks. And same thing, he just went right off. And ever since then, there's like
a barrier, like,
Caution.
a barrier. Like they got several
Yellow
bollards.
tape.
And he could have gotten a lifetime membership out of them. He's like, oh, I'm fine. Like,
Fuck.
and like the
that's
people
what
that
they're
were
most
with them,
concerned about is not like this, that you won't sue. It's not that you destroyed their whatever. It's just like
you're not
Yeah.
gonna kill us, right? Because they're responsible for putting up proper barriers or signing it saying like
Yo, slow
ravine,
down.
and then
or
someone
chill.
goes fucking careening off, even if it's totally their fault. They don't know the situation. You can just
Yeah.
be like, no, we were just going. We didn't know it was there, and next thing you know, we're upside down.
I
in
think
a
that's
creek.
partly what the story we told was.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
We just lost control. I don't know how
I don't know
it
what happened. These are death
It
machines.
wouldn't stop.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Wouldn't slow down.
Don't know what happened. It's like there was a rock on the pedal.
There was one day, it was me, Paul Andrew, I think it was Paul, Alex Osborne,
You guys are
and
naming names.
What's wrong with naming names?
and my
Who's
brother.
listening right now?
Yeah.
Ryan, hi Ryan.
What, two
podcast.
listeners.
You know what? It was funny because I was thinking about the listeners. When you plugged on episode 30, when you plugged my
Yeah, did you get a
YouTube
couple
channel.
followers?
I wanted to ask
No,
you
that wasn't the
Fuck.
point. That wasn't the point. Was I started to get nervous because I was like, okay, there's no content on my channel because I just like,
You just started.
yeah, I just started it, but I was like, maybe by the time that this gets some following, I'll have some more stuff and I can feel more comfortable. So that's
we'll
good.
plug you every once in a while. I don't mind.
Can you
I
explain
don't.
to me what the YouTube channel is?
Oh man, it's
Because I didn't know about it.
Hang
until-
on.
It was
Before you do that, are you more on YouTube? Like, are you going to stream from YouTube? Or
no,
are you
it'd
gonna-
be from Twitch for
you're
the most
doing-
part.
okay,
It's
okay.
more of a curiosity thing. I wasn't really concerned with like getting a following or
yeah,
anything
yeah.
like that. It was more so because like
You don't.
I'm
do
trying to
these things
understand the
now in order to
medium.
garnish a
I'm trying to
following.
understand the medium as like in terms of entertainment because
Right.
I come from a background in entertainment
Yeah.
and working in that. So I'm trying to understand that whole medium a little bit more in terms of live streaming, and just because it's from what I hear and what I read and what I see, it's just like going to be the next kind of, well, it already is like the next television, right? In terms of like people watching and
Yeah.
so I just wanted to understand a little bit more about the process and kind of how that goes in terms of the production side of it, because I was messing around with like some streaming software in terms of like OBS. You know what that is?
Yep.
I'm not sure if you guys know, but it's just like live streaming software, so you can like simultaneously like switch cameras or do whatever you want. in
Switch
terms of-
cameras, have your game come through, have different audio. There's a lot of like online providers that'll do like alerts. So if you follow, an alert will come up on stream, and that all goes through OBS, and then it comes up. Yeah, it's a crazy thing.
Yeah, it's a very technical kind of process in terms of like having a good quality production, because a lot of people who just mess around and try it, it's like you put your camera up there and your gameplay and that's it. There's nothing like special. But I was messing around with like overlays in terms of like
You
having,
can
like,
get pretty
animation.
heavy into it.
You can get pretty complicated with it, and it's interesting
I
because
got
it
into
creates
it.
another value. But also these people that are streaming, they're doing it on their own, right? Like it's like there's no. Sometimes if they're
So,
big
yeah,
enough,
yeah.
they have someone that's handling that.
99.9% of the time,
They're
it's-
doing it on their own, right?
Yeah.
So you're not seeing it physically on their screen, but they're dealing with like the production side
Doing
of it
everything.
as simultaneously as their life.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to mess around and understand
Play
that a
around
little
with
bit
it.
better. So
Yeah.
I'm live streaming occasionally to one or two people or whatever. You and Audrey were watching the other day, which
yeah.
is great.
The thing about this though is like I think I said this the very first time we did the podcast is
Mhm.
like if you're starting anything like this now, like a Twitch stream, a YouTube stream, podcast, whatever,
Mm.
you're literally like the 10 millionth into this. So if you think
They're
like
already
you're gonna
behind.
like if you're doing
Yeah,
this
but-
for like if you think you're gonna like change the game, you're probably fooling yourself unless like you have like
Well,
a
it
lot
depends
of.
on what kind of content you can.
I agree,
provide,
but
right?
for the most part, I think like just for what we do, like it's pretty standard. We're just having fun with it. We get X amount of people to listen a week. That's good enough for us. We're not doing it for any sort of notoriety.
No,
Just
we're
something
doing
fun
it
to
for
do.
ourselves.
COVID had a good time. Like COVID helped, just to like sort of do
just to
something with it.
be conducive to like actually getting it done, right? Because you've been
Yeah, and
building.
then the nice thing that came, the other nice thing that came of it is, Vault started a YouTube channel where he makes pizzas. It's
Chris
really
makes
good.
pizza.
And if you haven't seen it,
I still haven't seen it.
it's funny.
yeah,
Go
Chris makes
watch.
pizza.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah,
It's basically, you know what ASMR is? Like, what is it called? Audio
I don't
sensory.
People fucking do weird shit. It's
You know, it's
super
into-
sensitive mics. You hear left and right. So
They
if talk
whisper
over
and like
here,
people
like,
get
they'll come
off
in
on
your
it or
right
whatever.
ear and left ear, and they do weird shit.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
basically that, but like making
So,
pizza. Because that's what I was.
zero
But there's a-
when I saw the videos, because he
Yeah.
doesn't talk in it. Or
No,
anything like that.
I was
You
really
hear
hoping
him
he
like
was.
mixing the
I think-
batter. You hear him putting whatever on the table.
I
He's
think
doing all that kind of
ASMR
stuff.
is a bad way to describe what he does. He does
but
like
that's,
it is,
that's
but
kind of what like I
it's
get what
what
Eric's
made
saying.
me-
Like that's the time
Yeah.
that's the type of shit you hear though. Like you hear him.
You hear the process
stir-
of the pizza making.
stir some
right?
shit. Like you don't. He's not sitting there like, yo, what up, YouTube? We're making a fucking pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, thank
today.
God, because he'd be one of 100,000 different guys
That's
that
why I
do
say
that.
it's
That's what I mean.
And his
But,
is
like,
nice,
that's-
like,
pizza.
that's
He's got
what he's
nice,
saying.
relaxing piano
Put
music
the
while he
music
makes
behind
pizza.
it.
Yeah,
That's why
It's
I say
It's
fantastic.
entertaining to
It's
watch,
different,
and you
yeah.
can learn how to make a kick-ass
You can
pizza.
just put it on in the background while
Yeah.
you work and just kind of just
yeah,
he's doing his
I
thing
cannot
over
wait
there.
for
It's
him
like
to
you have
make
a-
us pizzas.
Is he getting better at making pizzas?
he
I
said
think he's always been good.
he's
at
always
making-
been good at
I
that.
never.
Yeah.
And when we were in
knew
high
that
school,
he was doing that.
we were in high school, he was like buying like pizza stones,
Yeah,
and like he
Okay.
would just like make them at home for his parents and shit like that. And
Yeah.
I asked him how these ones were because I know he's been making them a long time. He's like honestly like a good
seen-
pizza place quality.
I
like,
watched
at
a
least.
couple of the YouTube videos.
Probably
and, like,
better.
They looked delicious.
Like we make a home like we do homemade pizzas like once every couple months here.
Mm.
And it's not like the best shit. Like we don't
But
make our
they're
own
good.
dough. I like them. Like
Yeah,
they're like a
same.
pan style pizza that you cook them, you put on whatever you want.
Yeah,
I enjoy doing them.
that's like
Way
so.
much.
When I was living at Audrey's,
and it's like
parents' place-
$7 to make one.
Yeah, they made pizzas all the time, and Audrey's mom's dough is fantastic. But like their pizza is so much different from like the pizza my mom makes.
Sure.
And it's like two completely different pizzas. So and like looking at Chris's pizza, it's totally
Yeah.
different than all the other ones. Like
His is like a
Everyone has
legitimate.
their- yeah, he
thing
looks like
rough.
it's like one of those
man.
authentic like
Yeah.
Italian
Mhm.
places. and
Yeah.
stuff.
He must.
Looks
He has
so
to use a
good.
stone. My stepdad got into it too. Like he makes his own dough. He makes his own. He's got a stone. Everything.
No, retirement is you're going to get into a lot of different things.
I guess, including BDSM.
How is he
apparently.
doing? Nice.
They're doing good. They're old people.
Yeah, they're living up in.
They're just north of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish
They're
I wish I
condo,
got here
right?
sooner to see your mom. I haven't
Oh, she
seen
was
your
here?
mom in-
Yeah. Antonia had her baby shower today.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
It was a panic attack.
For Antonia?
She did great. Like it sounded good, but I thought.
Oh, you
it-
weren't
It,
in the
wa- it
room or
wasn't.
anything?
No,
Oh.
I was downstairs. I thought it's a Zoom thing.
Were you supposed to? Oh, it was
No, it's a baby shower.
Oh,
Yes.
fair enough. I
If
forgot
this
that
was
we're in
happening
COVID
at the
right now.
house, me
Yeah.
and Chris would have been at a bar.
We all
Yeah.
would have been elsewhere. So
Yeah.
now we're all here. So, like,
How do
cause,
you- I never even heard that because I haven't
but you're not a
known
girl.
anybody that's been having a baby shower. No, during COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm just curious about what she did.
I'm sure
So tell
we're
me.
not the first ones. My cousin did it 2 weeks because she's due 2 weeks before us.
Right.
She had hers. I'm like, when you for your first, you generally do a registry and a baby shower and
Yeah.
stuff like that, so you can garner
Get
more
some
stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't feel right just being like putting a registry out there, be like, buy us things, and we'll
Without
return
having-
we'll return nothing. Like here's no
Yeah.
thank you, no nothing. So she
No
She did
face to face interaction or anything.
did a good job, like as best as you can, like via Zoom or whatever.
It
program
looked
she
good,
used.
on, like because Audrey was
Was
in it,
attending,
and
She put
she
together a
took
bunch
over
of
my
games.
computer, so I couldn't do anything for a little bit. But
She needed a more high powered computer.
well, I had the webcam set up,
Oh,
and
true,
like
yeah, yeah.
the way it's set up faces the wall, so it's just nicer.
Yeah.
So I'm
So
like
They
using
play like online
like
games and stuff like that.
there was a few games like Audrey's like, do you want to play? I'm like, no.
Yeah,
She-
all good.
she made all,
No offense,
she made
but
all of these
no.
cards. She
Did you
sent
want to have
them out
like a
people.
guy's shower for your baby?
No,
Did
no.
we
This
have
actually
set up
worked out well because you
I'm
you
sorry,
called
I'm
me
not
what a
coming.
month
That's
ago.
what this is.
This is
I'm
big-
unavailable. What day is it? I'm not available. Then.
Yeah.
You called me a month ago and you're like, "What? I'm free this day, which is the 27th, I guess."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, perfect. And then, so I let Rob and CJ know. They're like, yeah, okay, cool, we'll come. And then Antonia heard that there was going to be 4 guys here. So she's like, I'm gone.
I'm out of here.
I'm not
Did you not
listening
tell
to
her
So
Audrey?
essentially,
Like,
this
because
is like-
Audrey was like coming.
I just assumed it was going to be
Yeah, yeah.
something different. And then it started to morph.
Yeah.
It started to snowball
It
as
just
it went down the hill.
a different route.
There's a couple other guys coming, like, we're probably going to pay poker. So it worked out
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Like, we're 5 weeks to
whatever.
the due date at this point.
Yeah.
So
That's
Yeah, so
Are you
you
nervous?
it's a little
Yeah.
last hurrah.
a little nervous.
Little
I think I would be a psychopath if I wasn't.
I guess. Yeah, that's true.
I'm nervous and excited about like the dumb conversations because kids amuse me like when they talk
yeah,
and like
for
I
sure.
like
For
thinking
sure.
about the shit that I would say. Like
Oh,
even
fuck.
in your teenage years, like you think you're so smart and all this stuff. Like I think
when you
I've
get
said
to
this-
that age, you're probably going to find them annoying.
I remember this distinctly, and I was asking my parents about this a couple weeks ago. I remember waking up on like a Sunday morning and having this epiphany. So this is what my parents would do because they were responsible and cared for me. I worked a job because I had to work, and then they took every paycheck, they would take half and put it away for me. I could not touch that money.
Parents.
And then every penny that I was allowed to keep, I promptly spent on probably booze and everything.
Dumb
right?
shit.
Dumb
Yeah, but
shit.
that's you. At that point, you know that you're saving money.
You're-
Right? So you're.
I
gonna do
didn't.
Whatever.
Well, no.
They didn't. You didn't.
I'm going to explain the story.
Okay.
So I woke up one Sunday morning and I probably had no money and I wanted to do things. So I'm like, how do I get access to this money that my parents have been stealing from me? So I had this like random epiphany. It's so dumb that it doesn't even make sense now when you try to rationalize it. When you're like, what was I like trying to like get to? What was my point of this? And I like barged in the room on like a Sunday morning. I'm like, I've got it. I'm like, I think my point was I would actually save more money if they just gave me all of the money.
That
was- it was-
the stupidest thing ever.
Exactly. But you're 16. Like you don't even know
Yeah,
what
you're
to
not
bring.
going to save that money. You're spending on bullshit.
And so I look forward, like, and you always hear like young kids and like teenagers say, like, oh, you wouldn't understand. And they say that with a straight face, like people in their
Yeah.
40s who have so much life experience. You're like,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
get
said
it.
The same thing,
so like,
buddy. Yeah.
so me being a bit older and tiny bit wiser, I find that shit so amusing. So I'm looking forward to that because that's like the easiest shit ever to deal with.
To
Like, yeah, all right,
rush
yeah,
off.
I guess
Yeah,
I
sure.
wouldn't get it.
Yeah, you're
like,
right.
yeah, you're
right.
good. Okay, go
Kick
sit
rocks.
down. Yeah, go sit down.
Yeah.
You know, so
Go
that's
watch
take a
your
break
Sunday
there, little one.
cartoons.
Just-
but then again, like once it actually happens when you're dealing with teenagers, it's probably super
little bit more
overwhelming and
frustrating.
nerve wracking.
I remember because my sister is a pretty big gap between me and my brother, right? And it's I remember my dad having like crises every now and then because when we were still living at home or like in university and we would come visit or whatever, Emily was getting to that age where she's like 14 or whatever. She's like turning 17 now, which is
And
kind
he
of
only
crazy,
ever dealt
right?
with boys.
Did you
too.
know me before Emily was even born?
Yeah,
And
I remember the day she was born.
and he had only had.
I remember.
You
when we
remember
were-
the day?
Yeah,
And he had only had to deal with boys up until that point, but also like girls is just a whole other, and teenage girls is just even another.
Yikes.
I remember my dad having some like, "Ooh, what is going on right now?" And when me and Ryan were out of
Like
the
a
house
war
already,
veteran.
and just like, oh, he was just not having a good time. Poor guy. I think he's better now, and she's a little bit more independent and just kind of just growing up a little bit, so she knows. But before that, it must have been
my uncle
Hell.
described it like when his daughter turned 13. It was like she rolled out
a
of
light
bed.
switch. Yeah.
She rolled out of bed that morning and was like, "What are you looking at?" Like that was her attitude.
Jesus.
And it's different with girls.
nuts.
Yeah.
It's
I can
nuts.
see it
It's like-
though. I can see it.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Girls are different. Like we're equally as
That's a good way of putting it.
yeah, we're equally
different.
as difficult, just in
Oh,
our own different ways.
100%,
I think guys are a bit more like not in your face about it. Like I fought with my parents for sure. I think most people did,
Oh,
but like
me-
I would
yeah,
just
same.
disappear to do my mischief. Whereas I think girls are just they say mean shit.
Yeah.
My cousin's daughter is like 10 now, and she's like starting to say mean shit. Like you're the worst dad. I fucking hate you. Like she's like that,
Jesus.
and like his wife, who's a teacher
Yeah.
and much more like even keeled about that stuff, is like, don't worry about it. She's
Yeah,
a
just-
10-year-old.
Yeah.
It
Just chill.
kind of cuts him a bit because it's his daughter, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I think
it hurts.
I'm
Deep
sure
down,
it
cuts you
does.
deep.
Yeah.
But you got to realize that it's not going to be like this forever. And they're going
No.
to come back and they're going to be daddy's girls.
They're
They
gonna
love
come back to
and
you.
yeah.
You're
They're
gonna
gonna come
love them
back
for
to
the
you.
first 12. You're gonna
Boys
fight
are-
with them for the next 8, and then you're gonna love them
Then-
for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Boys are,
It'll be
hold on,
fine.
sorry. Once they find out
That's how
like
it always
what,
goes.
Yeah, everyone
You
returns.
gotta go through a down period.
There's an old expression.
Can't always be up.
No,
there's a story that I could tell that would not make me look good in terms of like the what you would deal with.
feel
when you
free.
Have
It's
boys.
the internet.
Yeah, well, it's actually.
Come on, we need
Now's the
content.
time.
My mom has already told this story so many times that it's
You
like
beat
it's something
your
hilarious.
parents.
No. This is so I guess the main problem with boys, and from what I've heard and from what I know from experience, I guess, is just when
Masturbation.
you find out what masturbation is. Masturbation is the
I got a couple
is the
stories
big
out.
thing.
Not make me
Oh,
laugh.
yeah. I'll share it because I'm not quite embarrassed about it or anything like that. But like, so
Had
it
the
was.
masturbation face.
Yeah, masturbation. Well, I always have that face. It's just
What about masturbating into your face?
that's
It's a different
another
road.
monster
That's a different
right there.
monster.
Yeah.
Similar.
No, it was like I think so. You
Hello.
remember the time when my mom found out that we like smoked weed
Yeah.
for the first time, and she
Hello.
went, "That's just overboard in terms of like craziness of
Hello.
getting us tested and all that kind of stuff in terms of
Yeah.
if we're doing other drugs or whatever." But there was a time when when she first found out and she found like a dime bag in my pants or whatever when she was doing my laundry or something like that. And she found that out. But simultaneously, when she had done that and she was doing laundry, I was in the shower and I was 14 years old. And I also had just, I guess, finished up
This is that same time, or the same time that she found out you guys smoked weed and was going to test you?
simultaneously.
This
she
is the
was-
same story?
Yeah. So
Okay.
simultaneously, she finds this dime bag in my pants while she's doing my laundry, and
Oh,
I'm
she's
upstairs
into that.
taking a shower, thinking everything's all great.
A
So
shower.
Extra long
a
shower.
30-minute shower for the and I also was given a dirty magazine from a friend of mine that
Oh
I had
my
decided
God.
to take into the bathroom with me.
I
At the
bet
same
the door's
time.
not locked.
No, the door was locked. I was able to finish this shower.
I was able to finish.
But at the same time, remember that there was a dime bag found in my pants, so I was also a little high. So I forgot the magazine inside the bathroom. I
Nice.
left the shower. I went along my own thing. Then my mom calls me down. Hey, what the hell is this? Go downstairs. I start getting reamed at for her finding a dime bag.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, shit. And then I'm in trouble. I know this already. And then that's whole stressful already. So then my mom's pissed and she goes upstairs and she's trying to like take a moment and breathe.
Compose
And she
herself
goes
as
into
a
the
mother.
bathroom. What does she find? A fucking just a
Dirty
nudie
mag.
magazine.
Yeah.
And it created just a whole nother
Oh my God.
thing
Because
for her
she's
to
like,
get
drugs,
totally pissed.
drugs, pornography.
What kind of
Everything.
deviant is my son?
It all turned into one thing.
It was
Double
That was
penetration.
probably the worst day of my life. I think.
I
It was
remember this because very vividly, like this story. So you guys got drug tested by your mom,
Mhm.
and you failed. And you're, hang on, let me tell this
just-
story.
yeah.
So,
But I told her everything.
all right, just let me tell the
You
story.
looked at him like, you failed.
I fail. Yeah.
Eric failed, and his twin brother
I've never
Ryan
been good at
passed with flying colors, and they both had it in their system.
Jesus Christ.
So one of them,
Yo, you got different piss.
Ryan drank like 3 or 4 liters of water before the test so that it flushes out everything because you got to pee so much.
Mm.
And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't think he Googled this. I don't think he could then.
He's
He's just like, I just try it.
I'm
What
sure
can it
it'll
hurt?
work.
Because he
Yeah.
knew he was going to fail.
yeah.
And apparently it worked because he flushed out. He passed the
Yeah.
test and you failed. If I remember this
I did.
correctly.
Oh no!
Yeah.
But see,
And
from
he-
the get-go, I was clear with my mom. I'm like, it's going to test positive. Why are you even bothering to get me tested? I'm telling you, it's going to test positive. But she's like, oh, I want to see if there's other drugs in your system and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, fine, I guess. I knew I was really only smoking weed at that point, so I was what, like 14 years old or something like that.
I think we were 13 or 14.
Yeah, something like that. So
We might have been going into high school.
I knew it. No, it was definitely.
Was it
in
high school?
Yeah,
Okay.
grade 9 or grade 10. And
Did you guys go to school, like elementary together?
Yeah, we went to elementary.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck, I didn't know that.
Since I moved to Aurora, I've known Chris.
Yeah.
Grade 5, 12
Jesus.
years old or
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought you guys met in high school.
No,
No, we grew up
Fuck.
together.
long time.
Cool.
That's why, like, I literally know where
I
I,
didn't
was
mean
when
to
his.
interrupt. I just didn't know.
No,
that.
that's why I know where his sister was because we were on a grade
Fuck, I
5
didn't
camping
mean to
trip, and I
interrupt.
like they had to
that was the
leave.
day we
Yeah,
had
because
yeah,
she, like, that's where I know where I was when she was born. Like we were children ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
can't
That's cool
remember.
as shit, though.
That was the
Yeah.
first year that we got there, and that was
Yeah, that
the
was
end
the
of the
first
year
year.
trip.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you failed with flying colors.
yeah. Well,
That's fucking.
Did your
That's
brother
what I
get
was-
any less punishment for him passing?
no, because he
It didn't
also
change
because
anything.
I had admitted, he also admitted.
Oh, so it didn't
Oh,
change.
okay.
So it didn't change it.
He went down. He went down.
But he's like,
with
damn
you.
it, I could have lied the whole time.
Yeah,
And,
but
and
why
gotten
didn't he
away
tell
with it.
you to drink fucking 3 liters of water?
He probably did. I was just like, you know what? I already told
Fuck
her
yeah, I'm
that.
gonna
No,
fucking-
because I already from the get go when she's like, I'm going to get you tested. I'm like, it's going to test positive. Why are we taking the time out of our day to go
to do
this?
it. Yeah.
Let me just stay home and smoke more weed, Mom. Come on.
Fuck, mom.
Yeah, so
14.
Yeah.
I took like a month break, after that.
What you need to
But
do
that was a bad day.
is get a
Bad.
friend like Rob where you can blame all your bad shit on, and he can blame all his bad shit on me.
Works well. Fuck.
That's how we operated in high school. Like, early days of like grade 9 and 10 when like your parents aren't like so up to like what you're up to, like as far as drinking and shit?
Oh, that's Rob's.
Yep.
That makes
Whose
sense.
is that? That's Chris's.
Oh, that's Rob's.
And it worked for a long time.
Longer than it should have.
Yeah, way longer.
My brother did that
4 years
a lot.
longer.
Just blamed it on everybody. Oh, that's so and so's. Oh, that's so.
Yeah, your brother was into having parties though, right? He was. We used to go over to your place and
No, my brother would always go to parties back in the day.
Okay.
It wasn't
So I
until
just carried it back for him
wasn't until we were older that
when he was like around 17.
like I pretty much allowed us to have parties.
Oh, it was once you gave the.
Well, because
okay,
like
it
my
was,
brother went to all the parties, my mom still picked him up. Like my mom
Your
knew
parents
what.
you used to have the greatest parties at your place.
Yeah, but like my brother paved the road, 100%.
Oh, okay, that's good.
He would go to all the parties, get fucked up, do all this shit. My mom knew. My brother hopped over our fence one afternoon, high as a fucking kite, dude. Smoking weed with Niles.
Comes over the fence like a crackhead, probably.
Yeah. We got burger buns. Like,
should I go get some burger buns?
like, why did you hop the fence? Like, you could have walked out
was
the front
faster. I don't know.
door, 3 steps in our front door,
I get
and
that, though.
asked. But yeah, he hopped the fence, and
You're 17.
like that's
like
yeah,
fuck it, I'll just jump the fence.
Okay, when I was 17, I couldn't jump a
Yeah,
fence.
but just because you
Relax.
can't. All right, some of us used to be able to climb fences back in the day, and it was much quicker than going out the front door, turning left, turning another left
Yeah.
to go in.
Especially
That's
when
literally
you're
what it
running.
was.
When you're running from the police, it's a very effective tool.
It is a very
Yeah,
effective tool.
I always made sure I had a route that I didn't have to do that.
He planned
That's
it.
tough. It's tough in this town.
Where are we gonna be? Okay,
Yeah,
I gotta
it
get
really
my escape
is.
route.
Yeah.
yeah,
Who am I pushing down to fucking get away from this?
Who's taking the fall?
Yeah,
boys?
because I got 100 meters and I'm good.
And then I'm spent. After that,
Yeah.
hope they can't run 100
Then I'm
meters
curled in a ball, huffing and puffing.
out of the bush.
Yeah, no,
It's like-
Mike
It's like
fucking
if
paved the
you
way for that.
hear, if you, like, back to like having a kid thing. If like I hear that my kid was running from the cops, I think I'd rather hear that 3 years after that shit was taking place, you know, and then, but like we all did it.
Hmm.
Like, but
Yeah,
we never
all
got
the
brought
time.
home.
No, I had cops show up at the door once.
I think we were lucky. Really.
We were
Well,
very
there was
lucky.
one time in high school where I got brought back to school by the cops.
What?
Do you remember that?
No, I don't
You remember
remember
that? It was great.
What the fuck did you do?
It was very low key. I was just smoking weed somewhere.
Now it's
you know,
legal.
yeah, now it's
Yeah.
legal. So
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
would
have gotten in
s-
trouble. Well,
they
no,
would
we
spend their
still-
time arresting 17-year-olds, and
I
now
remember
it's
it
like
still would
it's
have been-
fine.
Yeah.
Maybe we wouldn't have gotten arrested. I didn't even get arrested at that point. It was just like a cop had seen us during school time doing that, and then so I was the only. I don't know how I ended up being the only one taking. Everyone else dipped, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, whatever." I'm just too lazy, or just kind of gave up and let myself take the fall, and just decided to stay. And all right, well, I'll just deal with it. And I just remember I was like 17 years old or something like that, and the cop just like brings us. He didn't put me in cuffs or anything like that. He just
Just brought
takes
you
me
back.
to the school, brings me to the principal office. Oh, this guy was doing this during lunch
Did
or
he
whatever.
walk you back, or did you have to go?
No,
in the
I went
back
in the
seat?
car. I went in the car,
Back
but it was
seat?
like so. You know where Williams is,
Yeah,
and you know like just like across the street down
yeah,
the main street there,
yeah.
and then the Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
I think it was just around the Tim Hortons there, or whatever, by the golf.
Did you go
course.
in the back seat, or did
I
was
think
he
I
like,
went in the
just
back.
get in the front?
You know what? I don't. I have such a bad memory as of late. It could be from all the weed or whatever, but I think I was in the back seat probably. But it was 2 seconds. We went to back to the high school, and he brought me to the principal's office, and I'm like, oh, he's doing this. So then I got like suspended for a week. You guys don't remember this?
That's a way
I
cooler
got
thing to
suspended
get
for like a
I
couple.
got
I don't
suspended for
know. We
throwing a
weren't-
water balloon.
we
You know what
weren't
was
very
funny
good
is that-
friends.
I
Like,
remember that.
like we were friends, but we weren't really
Yeah,
good
close,
friends
close,
till
close.
like
But usually that
After
stuff gets
high
like usually that stuff is like spread around high school like wildfire. Like
No,
and
I've
people
never
hear
heard
about
You
that.
also
that.
have to consider that
It was
everyone
very
else,
low key for me. It was like I got off easy, and then you know what was funny is because my mom. So I had to go stay. My mom was living in Toronto at the point, so I was like, "Oh, well, you're gonna stay with me this week, and you're gonna stay like quarantined in the house." She ended up taking me snowboarding
nice.
that week that I
Yeah.
was suspended.
Wicked.
I, was like, oh,
I used to
okay.
call my mom all the time. Hey, not going to my afternoon classes. Can you call in sick for me? Like every day of grade
See,
11
that I'm not doing.
and 12. Used to do that
There's
all
a
the time.
no. You gotta learn to suffer.
Well, you got to learn.
Fuck that.
I hit
forge
puberty,
signatures.
Yeah. I'd rather
Or
them
signatures.
figure it out.
Or
Nah.
get creative.
Yes.
Don't
if
just
I could've
give it
done
to
that.
them.
That was
Yep.
too easy.
I ended up getting a deeper voice in high school around grade 10, and I was able to call the school and say, "Hey, Ryan and Eric are going to be off this afternoon." And I was able to call the school and just pretend to be my dad.
I
You
got
wanna stay around in there, Chris Dulu, or taking the day off,
How
or
long?
we got to pull them up
How long did that work for?
from grade 10 to like
Till
they
you
never-
graduated?
to the end. It never got caught for it.
Never
No,
called to
no.
verify?
No, because I didn't abuse it. I didn't take so many days off, but
Yeah.
any day that I would be like, oh,
I abused
Let's
it when
go.
I was allowed to call myself in, but I was an adult.
yeah, when you turned 18. Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Imagine like you think you're
That's
an
a
adult.
weird-
You're like, how old are you? I'm an adult. You're in grade 12 and you're an adult. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's me.
I
I'm
just
an adult.
turned
if you're in
18,
grade 12 and you're listening to this, you're an adult.
you're not.
No, my thoughts were like, I'm
The
gonna
same rules
skip
don't apply for calling in sick to work. They're
I'm
not
gonna
going to let you off
skip
the hook for that
anyway.
shit.
So like, either call me in or you're getting a call later. So which one do you want to deal with? That was my thing.
I don't know if that's great logic. I'm not sure how I
I'm
feel
just
about
gonna
that.
say, but like honestly, like I'm gonna skip. Like how many afternoons did we hang out?
But I only started skipping when I was allowed to do it.
I probably
True, but I did it before.
I never.
Yeah.
I almost failed grade 9 or grade 10 gym. So I didn't go enough. And then I caught on. I'm like, okay,
Racial
So-
profiling.
it's true. Fat kids, they hate on us.
That's how I passed. That's how I passed gym.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I just wouldn't go. And then I caught on. I'm like, okay, instead of getting an absent, I'll just get a late. So
come at like the last 5 minutes of the
10 minutes before class was at.
Sorry.
And I became really good friends with the lady at the front desk, the secretary.
Nice.
And she'd be like, hey, CJ. Like, hey, late again.
Alright.
Wasn't feeling well. And she damn well knew. I'm like, I'm late though. So can you write me a note? She goes, yeah, here it is.
Do you remember that?
Fantastic.
I don't know if you remember this story.
hang on. I want to hear the racial profiling story if you want to tell it.
Yeah. How did you get out of that?
This poor gym teacher. Now I feel really bad for him. But
I've drank with this gym teacher. I think
Yeah, he wasn't a bad
was it?
guy.
he's a good guy. I'm not. Gonna
Oh, okay,
say his-
yeah, yeah.
I don't want to
Just-
say his
yeah,
name
yeah.
I was failing
I think
gym.
because he's still a teacher at that school. I don't want to.
He still teaches there.
Yeah, and he's
A
like
lot
he's got
of
a fan.
teachers
I don't
still
want to.
teach there.
I don't want to screw the guy up. If anyone
Good guy.
I know.
But I was failing gym, and I saw a window. To
I wish
not
we
fail
were
gym.
friends back then.
And it
Took full
involved
advantage of that
really,
window.
really just blowing up this guy's professional life.
Oh,
But he was teaching health. He was talking about different, safe sex.
I know exactly where
methods
this is
and-
going right now.
So he pulled out a condom, showed everyone a condom, pulled out a diaphragm, showed everyone the diaphragm, and everyone's a bit awkward because we're young and shitty and whatever.
Yeah.
So just to make people laugh, he puts it on his head and he goes, "Oh, or it's a Jewish hat, this diaphragm."
Okay. Easy.
Which is kind of funny. Like as a Jew, that I don't think that's particularly racist. You just can't do that shit as a teacher.
Yeah.
For
that
sure.
shit's funny
There's
though.
some things that are off limits.
Especially when
You
said
might
Jew
wanna-
is in your class looking to take advantage.
yeah. Is failing right now and
Yeah.
needs a way out.
I am using this.
Yeah.
So there's my window. Yes, that was funny. Great joke. After class,
Sorry, sir.
I asked if I could speak with him, and I just asked him to apologize because the semester wasn't going that well, but I liked him as a teacher, and I didn't want to walk away
Bullshit.
Having him-
remembering
yeah.
him from that experience. So he did what any responsible
How old were you at
adult
this
would
point?
do.
14.
14.
14. You had this mindset at
Yeah.
I was
grade 9. I would have never thought to
Rob's a
use-
diabolical
No,
genius.
Rob has the biggest brain out of all of
True.
us.
I agree with that for sure. Anyway, continue your story.
Just sit and wait. Usually people fuck something up.
Yeah, but no. See, I would have.
But the fact that you had the patience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. But I wouldn't.
Nah.
Even,
I would have. It would have been 2
weeks.
weeks later, and I would have been like, "Damn
Fuck,
it!
I had the opportunity.
I
and-
could have
exactly.
done this.
Well,
I had him by the balls."
I was still shaking in my boots.
I know. I get
Still,
you,
Dude,
but
I was
he
literally-
still thought of it though. Like
Yeah.
that's.
I had a
the thing.
teacher
had the
hit me
balls to
over the head with something,
I remember that.
and I could have pushed that all the way. Like I could have.
Yo, he could have.
I could have gotten him fired. I was given
the.
the option. This is how fucking stupid I am. I was given the option to not attend that class for the rest of the semester.
And still pass.
This is early on and pass with a good grade.
Done.
And I'm like, it's fine, whatever. I get it. The guy
I was an
hit me
asshole.
over the fucking head with
I
a
was being a
fucking
dick.
binder, half a foot
Dude,
thick.
yeah, I remember it. It was
And two
fucking-
hands smashed me with it.
Oh, anyway,
Fuck.
I want to hear.
Sorry, finish.
I want to
Sorry,
finish the
Rob,
story
go ahead.
because I'm curious because I don't even remember the story.
No, that was it.
I don't
pretty
think
much. And
again.
then,
There was a lot of shit that
after-
didn't get blown up.
Yeah,
yeah,
everything
after
kept low key.
he,
That was a good. It was a good school.
Yeah, it was back in the days
Everything was
where if
kept real
shit
private.
happened, it happened.
Yeah, it was
right,
whatever.
Right after all that, he had no choice.
So what'd you pass with?
Because he 51.
Yeah,
Perfect.
courthy.
Perfect.
And the
How
other
bad was your?
the other two kids that were failing also had to pass, so it didn't look like it was just a favor for me based on
So
that
everybody
incident.
just scraped by with
So
51.
nobody failed that class.
So you did a favor for everybody else.
He's a
Wow.
hero.
He
Rob's a
ended
hero.
up-
You are a hero.
He ended up calling my dad to apologize to my dad.
Good for
If
What did
he,
your dad say to them?
but if he didn't do that, would you have even told your parents?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so he was just
But-
being nice. He's just
Yeah.
like, this kid's gonna go home.
He's gonna tell his
Because I
parents.
didn't care. I just wanted to pass, or I wanted a chance.
Did your
to-
dad know that you were like using
sure.
it to?
For sure.
Did your dad ever say anything to you, or was he just like,
I
"Oh,
think
no,
he
it's
was
okay."
proud.
You would at least hope so.
Yeah, true.
Well,
yeah.
because I remember him coming to me and being like, "I heard from your gym teacher."
That's crazy that he
What
did
the
that.
hell?
The fuck he called?
Like doing the parent thing. Like, do I need to get involved?
Are you
and
okay?
I was like,
No,
no,
it's
no.
good.
It's
Nah.
not family.
Oh, and then he's like, "Oh, I see what you did there."
I got this covered,
That
Dad.
makes sense. That makes sense.
I fucking love your
God,
dad.
daddy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
No, it's funny.
He's
Fuck,
a
you got it.
fucking hell.
Yeah, I don't even know if I ever told my parents that I was hit by a teacher.
Yo,
I feel like your
I was
mom would
gonna
have been
say,
like, "That's not."
I bet your
cool."
dad doesn't know.
I guarantee you he doesn't know.
Yeah,
Unless I told him, which I'm sure I didn't.
I was gonna say.
I feel like your dad would care less than.
I
your mom
remember
would
that.
care.
Back then-
I remember Dickerman sitting in front of me. Dickerman was the one that
That
like
was grade 10, right?
Dickerman
Was like,
would
what
have
the
taken
fuck
this
was
guy
that?
to the fucking courts.
Really?
Yeah, because like the guy hit me and Dickerman's like, what the fuck? like he was. I remember seeing his face because like I just got thudded and I'm like,
Wait, did that actually
like,
happen? Yeah.
like you're
Yeah,
in shock.
yeah.
It's like it was a good belt. Like
Yeah.
it was a hard hit.
with what?
So the guy had a binder
It was a
and
binder.
it was like 8 inches thick and it was full of paper and
He
he
must have immediately been like,
he knew
"The
he knew he
fuck did I
fucked
just
up.
do?"
100%.
Oh,
He,
shit.
and he had
Yeah, but he
both
was a bit of
hands
a
on it.
hothead, though. I
He-
think,
he-
like deep down.
Of course you are. If you strike a 16-year-old in the back of the head
But
with something,
you probably deserve it. Any other
Yeah,
person,
to his
actually,
merit, you
any
probably
other
deserve it.
person, I
Yeah.
feel like
hang
you
on a second.
deserve
In my
it.
defense, I would say if he had seen me doing half the shit I did, I would have deserved it. In the weirdest time, in this
Okay.
one time,
He caught
I
you.
actually didn't deserve to be hit. I should have been hit a lot more times.
Yeah.
and I wouldn't
Maybe
have
he
been
was
mad.
spying on you and
Okay,
he knew
gotcha.
all the shit you
I wouldn't
did.
even been mad.
Gotcha.
But what we were doing was we were sitting there with rulers and we were in the classroom part of the wood shop and we were literally just tapping them on the desk.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, boom. And then Dickerman's like, what the fuck just happened? He's like, are you fucking, like, you cannot do that. Because he saw how hard he hit me. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
the guy
you just got hit.
sucker
He
punched me from
yeah.
behind.
wound up.
Yeah, and he wound up.
First time in
and,
high school, getting
he
sucker
came back
punched.
behind his head and
By a
bang,
teacher.
Jesus.
followed through it and
Christ.
everything.
I'm proud of
Holy
Dickman.
fuck.
And he
Forever,
wasn't
wanted
even
to
the
stand up.
teacher. That's the fucked up thing. He wasn't the one teaching the class. He was
Oh,
another shop teacher.
really?
Yeah, so it wasn't even his class. And it
And
wasn't
he's
like
doing
he
it.
was substituting. He was
Oh,
just.
he's
you
a
guys
psychopath.
fucking-
Beforehand? Was it like, was there
I never had this teacher in my life or had him since. I didn't know the fucking guy other than his name,
Which we can't say.
which we can't say.
no, Bobby,
We can't.
And
I
I'm
can.
sure-
I can bleep it out. Can we say? I'll
No,
bleep it out.
no. I don't want to. Let's just. I'll say the name after. I don't want to.
Ah,
I don't even want to
fuck.
risk any of that bullshit because
I think I have a story about this guy too.
I don't think you do. I think it's a different guy. But it doesn't matter. I don't want to fucking put anyone in black. I hate like
Again,
fucking people. I don't
can,
care.
I can bleep it
I'm
out.
over
though.
it. I don't care.
Like, I
No. Let's just not even
you
go
don't
through
have
it.
to yell at me, Dad.
Well, you're not listening, son.
Did you expect anything else?
So I didn't. So he wasn't even teaching the class. He just happened to be perusing through the room.
And just
Sees us fucking tapping with things.
Yeah.
Smokes us. We're like, what the fuck was that for? He's like, you can't be damaging the desk. We're like, we're tapping
What?
rulers. He just
we're playing drums
plastic rulers on a wood
wasn't
desk.
having a good day, obviously.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that must
Was that in grade 10?
I don't think I was driving. I was probably
Yeah,
was
it was
grade
grade
9 or
10.
10.
I remember hearing like it went around the school. Some kid
It was a
just
big
got
deal.
hit.
Smacked.
Some teacher just smacked some kid in the back of the head with a fucking.
Wow, how that didn't blow up is a mystery to me.
Because
God.
because I didn't let it blow up.
I don't even remember that happening.
No?
That's my point. Is I never heard it, so that's like this is the first.
That's
time
how
hearing
little
about
that's
it.
how not far I went with it. That was
Yeah.
literally it. Like
I
they-
remember
hang out all
hearing
the
it
time,
though.
and I don't
like,
they
remember you
like
telling me.
they
People.
I like they sent me to the office right away and they're like, yeah, this should not happen. Like what happened to you was a grave misjustice.
Yeah.
But that
Something
teacher
to that.
remained to be employed for the remainder of your high school career.
Facts.
So they didn't care that much, really.
Well, no, they didn't care
100%
because
no.
I chose not to care. Like they gave me all of the options.
so you could have.
I'm late for Passover.
All right, go enjoy. Happy Passover. We're done in like.
Wait, I forgot to tell you the thing.
What?
I don't like Zoom Passover.
Oh, nice. So who cares?
I do have a question for you though.
No.
Do you have to go?
No, thank you.
Do you have to go?
Legitimately, if
go.
you need to go.
If you need to go, you can
If you-
go.
So here's
Yeah.
We're like done in 5 minutes.
so
Yeah.
here's the thing about
How long have we
Zoom
been going?
Passover.
Like an hour and a bit.
It should take an hour.
True.
I feel like there's so much
But
more I could say.
It actually
I know.
takes 3.5
I like
hours,
talking.
so I
Stop
can
talking
chime
over
in
me.
at any point. Plus, my family does 2 or 3. One's for the Jews, one's for the Jewish Jews.
That's my favorite line.
So I prefer to
Jewish.
I prefer to chime in on the second night because it's a little bit less stab your eyes out.
Okay.
Is tonight the second?
But do you
say
have to
that.
do you have to go like right away, or can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
Do you have time though? Because like it's gonna take. I feel like it might be like a 10-minute question.
Is
Am I
this like a
sexually
huge deal?
attracted to you?
Okay.
Not anymore.
Yes, I'd like to answer. I'd like to answer that question for the courts. Yes, I'm very sexually attracted to CJ.
Hell yeah. Fuck, at least someone is. No. How do you segue off that?
Audrey, if you're hearing this, you should pay more
She doesn't
attention to your
listen
man.
anymore.
Audrey, don't.
Anymore?
Yeah, she gave up.
She gave
She's like, I hate when you guys interrupt each other.
That's all
It's
we've been
like-
doing this whole episode.
It's
Oh.
what we do as a friend group.
But it's not what you should do if you're trying
Chris,
to make listenable
stop.
content.
How did Zach do? Did you cut him off?
No, he did pretty good. I
did
kinda,
great.
I didn't talk like
CJ,
majority of the,
You didn't cut him off?
so this episode,
You didn't do the
wanted to.
funniest thing?
this episode is actually going off the rails because these two won't shut the fuck up. So usually they're not like. Usually we're pretty good about not interrupting.
trying to.
Because listening to someone and then it keeps getting interrupted every 2 seconds, especially when you have one microphone, is almost like stabbing pencils in your ears. Like, why would I listen to this? So if you care about like this is obviously fun, something we can do, but like we also don't want to just throw it out there and be like, oh, fucking just take it as it is. Like, I enjoy doing this. I think it's fun. We're doing it because we can hang out with our friends.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to put out something that's like, this is too hard to listen to.
Yeah,
Like,
you
where
can't
people-
even follow it.
and this is what this probably episode is like. But that's
I think
fine.
it's been okay.
Scratch it from the record.
It's no, we're not gonna scratch it. It's fun.
Hell no.
I've had a blast.
This is going out
Yeah,
there.
but anyway, so I forget what was the point of this?
Interrupting.
Oh yeah, so the interrupting. So Zach, because he was on Zoom, is like you have to be super diligent anyways, or else like you're not going to hear anything.
Yeah.
So when you're doing the podcast, saying like, but no, you can easily interrupt them constantly. But it would just be like it would be like delayed. So it wouldn't even be funny. Like if
Wouldn't
we were
have
in
been
the same,
interrupting.
but the point of
interrupting.
the point of interrupting Zach is like as soon as you start talking, just like yeah, so anyway, and like gets him right away. But if he's like telling a story and then we just interrupt him, it'll be like delayed by half a second. So he'll be like, "Oh, sorry, were you like trying to say something?" Because people do that when they're on Zoom and shit.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, sorry, were you trying?" You're like, "No, go ahead." And it takes
They
the fun,
acknowledge, yeah.
takes the fun
It
out of
takes
like interrupting the person who hates being interrupted the most out of anyone.
And
on
out
the
of our
planet.
entire friend
A
group.
live show
But
would be fun if you
coulda-
just purposely
could have
tried.
made it a double whammy. So he thinks every time he's interrupted that it's a Zoom issue
Yeah.
until like the 10th or 12th time. Motherfucker.
So what happened? He was trying to tell a story, and it was a perfect segue to go to something like real quick.
Just for a minute.
And I started to go down there, and Chris, like, I don't know if he hit me or if he just looked at me, and I'm like, all right, sorry, Zach, continue. And I'm like, fuck. And
you
like
would've
that's
you
all I
would've
could
gone-
think about was because we
You would have gone the complete opposite direction about something that had nothing to do with what he was.
Yeah,
it
but
wasn't
we
even,
would
like,
have brought
on
it
topic.
back. Let's
Maybe.
bring it back.
You know how many things we haven't brought back this episode?
Yeah, as much as Game of Thrones.
What was your question for me?
I wanted.
There was
wanted-
something about Passover, wasn't it?
I was just asking him if he had time,
Oh, okay.
but I want to know how Future Care Packaging actually started.
Ooh, should we say
Shout
that for
out
another
Future Care Packaging. I don't know. Are you going to be on another episode?
He could go on forever.
Yes.
episode? Sure.
I just want to know
That's
how
a
it
lot.
started. Like,
How it started.
was
So-
it you? Was it because I know your dad's in the paper company?
So it was my dad's idea. He works in the paper brokerage industry,
Which is a really good conversation to have after a lot of
riveting.
drinks.
riveting.
It is.
yeah.
You can make it interesting.
He is. He's a good salesman. He's easy to talk to, but he works with a lot of food grade papers and large scale sales and shipments of paper.
Mm-hmm.
So as this eco revolution, if you want to call it, is happening, he saw the opportunity to get this specific kind of paper to make these straws in a different kind of quality than the ones coming in from China.
Right.
So it started there with him probably 3 or 4 years ago, even. And then over the last 2 years, we've been kind of building it and trying to sell restaurant products in COVID, which is a fun one.
Oh, I would imagine that's fucking thrilling.
Well, it threw a wrench in the whole plan in terms
fuck.
of.
Just so people wonder what we're talking about, Rob's company is the only company in Canada and North America.
So there are three now in Canada, but we're by far the largest.
Yeah.
And in the US, there's one bigger than us.
Paper straw industry, and you guys have international certifications. They're the only ones that, like, you have FDA, you have HABSIC,
HACCP, yeah.
like all the like straws that you see at like anywhere that's like
Yo,
paper
I've
straw.
weight tested his straws. We put what 7.5 pounds on either side before it broke.
Damn.
That's pretty
I think 10 pounds is where it broke, but like I couldn't micro load it. It was like either 2 10-pound weights or I could do a 5 and 2.5, and that was it.
So it could have
And
been a
then-
little bit more. But
Could have been a
just
little bit
couldn't go
more,
that
but
precisely.
yeah, man, like these straw, like the one straw just it was
That's
fucking
quality paper
insane.
straw. Right?
Well, they're all horrible quality. I mean, there are some
ones
out
that-
there.
the ones
that
you can
are
get at
better,
market
Oh,
right
dude,
now.
it's
But
insane.
I mean, when we started, every single straw out there was awful, and the
100%,
sort of
and I can agree with
people
agree to
were
that.
just hating them. So our goal from the beginning was to make a straw that worked.
Who was
Yeah.
the engineer behind
Rob.
this?
Me.
Yeah, I was
really?
gonna say
Yeah.
Rob.
So not just me, right?
Chief
I
designer.
Because you
worked-
played around with like going from a 4-layer straw to a 5-layer straw.
3, 4, 5. Now we're playing around with 2-layer straws and dipping them in a paraffin wax. It's
Trying
It
to see
never
if it
ends.
works.
Does that make it less
That's crazy.
recyclable when you dip it in wax?
It's all
Because I heard that
food-safe
that's when
stuff.
like when
so
it's all
par-
food safe stuff, but in terms of recycling and
So
and
It
biodegradableness.
depends on the wax. Paraffin wax is biodegradable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what's the? Because I know that from the, or I don't know because I don't know much about it, but like the wax that's inside cups, paper cups, like Tim Hortons cups and whatever. Is that
Yeah.
a different type of wax than what you would use?
Yes.
So what? Because there's
Before those,
there
So
isn't
there's
compostable or what's
some
the
aren't
case?
anymore. Still.
Yo,
Oh,
Those
I
like
don't
cheap,
know.
shitty orange ones that like are in like every cafeteria at every office
Yeah.
building. Those are not technically recyclable.
No, and no cup that's waxed on the inside is
really
at
recyclable.
all.
Yeah.
I want to say this to everybody out there. Yo, their cups say do not microwave their cups. Like if you get a large coffee to go, or it's small, it doesn't matter.
Do not put that
Yeah,
Tim
it
Hortons
says
cup in there.
Don't put in microwave, which I
Because you're going to be melting microplastics into your drink at that
which I
point,
didn't
right?
fucking
That
know.
explains a
I
lot
didn't
from
know.
a lot of
Yeah.
people I know.
I used to microwave them. What are you trying to say, Chris?
Is it a more expensive process to kind of be using that particular type of wax, or is it?
Absolutely. I don't think we're nowhere near ready to run with it, but that's most of my job there. We have one machine that's designated just for R&D. So
Oh, nice.
I've trained with the engineer who designed the machine years ago. We have another engineer who comes in. We have a machinist who comes in to help me tweak the sorts of things I want to change.
Yeah.
So it's really just a matter of how likely is this idea to improve the product, and is it worth the thousands
Changing
of dollars it's
everything
going to
to go-
cost to
yeah.
make that happen. But after 2 years of that, we're in a place where we're ready to manufacture a very good quality 4-layer straw.
Nice.
So
Just a matter of having the restrictions lifted so that they can have the demand for those straws.
Yeah.
right?
There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this
So
the other day
much.
too, is like because a lot of like this environmentalism, a lot of it's like easy shit. It's like all like a Harvey's or an A&W has to do is like, now we use paper straws, and people are like, perfect. But like the consumer isn't like demanding like a decent quality. At least I'm probably wrong. You're obviously in this, Rob. So I'm just thinking like for myself, like if it's a paper straw and it's shitty, I'm drinking the thing for like 10 minutes and it goes in the garbage, whatever. I wonder how many people would need to be like, these need to change. We need better quality in order to like kick into gear, like to fucking buy the higher product shit. Because like all this shit is coming from China and none of it is food safe. None of it they will provide any ingredients on their chemicals the way you've explained it to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've had some of these straws coming in from overseas tested, and you see like spiking lead content like you see from like paints in the 70s and
that's
like
fucked.
crazy stuff. And the problem is there's no regulation. Like I won't say where that straw was from, but I'll tell you I got it at a popular dollar store.
Yeah.
And you go through a store and you think this is for sale here. Like
You think
someone's
This could be legitimately harming
someone's
you.
checking in on it. But it's such a new product, and this industry is going to change so much so fast that there are no control measures.
Yeah.
So if you get
It's like
caught,
anything though, I think that's new. Like
Yeah.
it hits so fast that there's no control
Testing on it.
or
There's no
testing.
quality
There's
control.
no police.
I've heard that that's a big problem on Amazon in terms of like the products that they.
There's a
offer.
lot of
I watched
fake
that. Yeah, I watched
reviews
some.
for that.
Yeah, a lot of fake reviews.
A
A lot of
shit ton,
companies
like-
that just will throw random. They'll see a product that does well. That's a little bit pricey. They'll make the same product with shittier quality materials for half the price, and they'll start selling it in whatever country that they're selling it from or whatever. But it's not been approved by any kind of quality control board or anything like that, and it is legitimately either falling apart or causing harm to children or whatever the case is, and it's like crazy. Craziness.
I hate to throw
there's
it out there,
regulation on it.
but Amazon Basics is like rips off all these like underdogs. Like they'll put a product out there, and then Amazon will be like, "Cool, like you guys
They'll
don't
allow
have
them to sell.
You guys don't have a patent on that or some shit.
Taking advantage.
We're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it ourselves, and it's gonna be this much. You're selling it at $11. We're gonna sell
was
ours at $9.99.
I saw a documentary on like YouTube about Jeff Bezos and Amazon or whatever, and they were literally talking about that issue. Was like, they'll allow companies to sell like ebooks, for example. Like a lot of publishing companies will sell their books on Amazon, but then Amazon will be like, no, we'll publish books for cheaper and sell them for cheaper, and now you're out
Now
of
we're
business
fine.
because they'll just publish with us instead of publishing with you. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it's a crazy world.
And then, but they have no choice but to sell on Amazon because that's the only way that they're going to
It's
sell their books.
literally
Now. But
the
then they're also
biggest-
being outcompeted by the very company
it's
that
the
they're
pro-
selling their
The problem
stuff
is
on.
monopolies. The problem isn't the company.
Yeah,
The problem is that there's no
100%.
like, and
there's no alternative.
there is laws out there. Like you want to talk about policing shit. Like we have laws on the books that can break up stuff. The United States has that stuff too, but they're not using them. And then all these complaints that we all have, which are valid, totally. And I agree with you. Like because Amazon does do a lot of the bully tactics, where like they'll go in and they'll do a successful company that they want to sell on their thing, and they'll just start making a shittier product of it. Looks like their stuff until they are forced to go on there. I think there was some German knife company, some famous story about that.
Sure.
But the problem isn't necessarily Amazon and how they behave. The problem is that there's no other competitor to Amazon. There's that's the biggest problem.
It's like-
and as a government, you don't need more regulation to police the individual products. You should be policing crony capitalism because that's the fucking problem.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't have giant telecommunication companies like we do in this country. You shouldn't have only 2 airlines. You shouldn't have only 2 of this. You shouldn't only have 1 Amazon.
Yeah.
And on that note,
We'll cut it.
Well, don't cut it. But so what I want to say to what Chris was saying was that to bring it all back to like our world and gaming,
No, yeah.
Twitch is the only one that does.
So far.
Online
There's
streaming.
been other companies that have tried it, like Mixer and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
but no one has been quite successful as
Mixer got 2 of the biggest streamers on Twitch to go to their
couldn't
platform.
even make it happen.
couldn't
even
make it happen. But
And they came back.
their biggest fault was they didn't change anything.
Yeah.
And then they sold to Facebook Gaming, and then they went to everybody went back to Twitch. Like people have gone to YouTube, but again, everybody complains about YouTube.
Hi.
Everybody complains
I think
about
Wilson answered you
YouTube
there.
because
Yeah.
chat is shit. Everything else, look at Twitch.
Yeah.
like you can't move off of it.
There's no way. That's where the majority of the market has come, and everybody
That's
knows
crazy.
that that's where you come to get your content or find what you're looking for.
Yeah, live content.
And to change it all of a sudden to go somewhere else,
It's
what's the
so
point?
hard to
You're
compete
gonna have to.
with.
And YouTube is
It's
the only
huge.
one that's
It's
really
huge.
able to do it because YouTube
It's
started the
huge.
whole
YouTube is
content.
absolutely huge.
Exactly. So it's a seamless transition for them because
Yeah.
why not do live stuff? Right.
Yeah.
And it's, but for like other companies like Mixer to come out of the blue and be like, oh, well,
Mixer
we're going to be
around for a while though.
I know, but when it comes to compared to
Yeah.
Twitch, no one's on that
No, you
shit.
can't compete.
Compared to
I'm
Twitch.
sorry.
I've
You just
maybe
can't.
got on Mixer once.
I
that was
streamed
like
on
3
Mixer
years
for
ago.
a while.
Oh, really?
For like 3 months.
Good for
I did
you.
really I did good. Like it was easier to be discovered.
Really? Okay.
But at the same point, like because Twitch is a fucking madhouse to get
Yeah.
discovered on.
No, yeah,
Like,
there's
you gotta
so-
be
so
on
many people
YouTube.
on
You
there.
got to be
Yeah.
on some other platform to get discovered on.
Yeah.
It's
you got to
insane,
plug
but
those.
It's
that-
just like
yeah.
Amazon with e-commerce. Like you cannot get discovered on. You're not going to
Yeah.
take over the market.
E-commerce is a thing, especially when it's Amazon. Amazon's going to be putting ads for their own shit before they
Yeah.
put the other companies like
Oh,
that are selling the
100%.
same shit, right? It's-
100%. I don't know if you looked at the manufacturer for the cable, but
Amazon?
that's Amazon.
Thank you,
based.
Amazon. By the way,
Like,
we don't mean to be shitting on you, but good
no,
quality products.
they are the monopoly. Like,
Chrome
where
is-
else are you going to
Chrome's
shop
not that.
online? Pretty
Chrome's
much.
like crony capitalism
Yeah.
bullshit.
The
it-
fact that it allows it in the beginning.
And
right?
well, but there is like if the laws were just enforced properly,
Mm.
you could change that. Like, no, you're too big. You own too much shit. You got to break up. Like
Yeah.
those laws were created with like Standard Oil.
But
You
at the
just-
same time,
50s.
a lot of that shit wouldn't be possible if Amazon, like a lot of the in terms of the commerce and a lot of companies who get their stuff packaged to individuals, like it wouldn't be possible without Amazon. So again, Amazon is like it might be-
I think they're doing like I think their business model is perfect. Like I
Mm.
think you want to be able to deliver goods to consumers as fast as possible,
100%.
but you also want to have a competitor so that if Amazon is doing predatory shit that you don't like or agree with,
you can go
you
somewhere
can take
else.
your business
Yeah, yeah,
elsewhere.
It's like this
Because that's how it thrives.
Internet.
You need
Like,
competition. You can't just have fucking monopolies and be like, because then they can be like, no, we'll treat our employees like shit,
Yeah.
and you're going to keep ordering from us because there's no other game in town.
It's like the states
That's the bigger
with,
problem than fucking anything else.
the states have a huge problem with internet. It's Comcast or nothing.
No, it's us. We have the biggest problem with
we
internet.
do internet and,
They
and
have
cell
5
service
different
and all that kind
providers
of
down
stuff.
there.
It's
They
crazy.
don't have a problem. And if you look at their pricing, it's like even I know that they have 10 times the amount of people, but their pricing is nowhere near what we pay.
Europe
Really?
is incredible.
I was just
for that
talking about providers, like
They have like
the
5
rest,
down
the rest
there.
of the world.
because
like,
rest of the
everyone I talk to in the states
Europe,
is
Asia.
Comcast or nothing. Like everybody I talk to is on
In terms of
Comcast.
quality,
Yeah. And even then it's a dog shit. Like people's internet
Really?
drops out and they're like, fucking Comcast, all this shit. And it's like, yo, we have 2 and both of
use
them
the
are
same-
fucking ass.
And by the way, they
Right.
use only one of their products because I work in those buildings.
Dude,
The other big competitor uses the shit that Bell built.
yeah.
Rogers uses Bell's stuff.
100%.
TELUS uses Bell's stuff. They have their own little rooms in there. Bell built the entire infrastructure system, which is good.
Yeah.
But their problem is they only want to pick and choose who they let use it. So when I think it was Verizon wanted to come up like 10 years ago, there was a huge media campaign saying like, don't let an American company come up here and piggyback off of our entire system. Whereas that's hilarious to say out loud because you're letting Rogers do it. You're letting TELUS do it.
Yeah.
Literally Bell builds fucking everything. They just let other people do it.
I
But they
never
have
knew
a
that.
but they have a good agreement with those people because they can agree. It's market fixing, right? Like
yeah.
you allow people to use it and we're like, okay, we'll keep our prices at this. Yeah, okay, perfect.
It's
But in the
crazy.
United States, AT&T did the same thing. So AT&T built their entire infrastructure system, which everyone still uses to this day. But you don't only have AT&T and Verizon. You have Sprint, you have Comcast, you have 5 or 6 different legitimate competitors, not just shitty ones, legitimate ones. And the reason that AT&T had to let them do it is because they're like, hey, are you a monopoly? And they're like, a little bit. They're like, perfect. Can you not be? And they're like, okay, how do we do that? They're like,
Yeah.
How can we
just
We
you
can't.
can't. It's not a reasonable expectation
Yeah.
to ask another company to build the exact same infrastructure system as you and provide them as a legitimate choice. Like, thank you for
Yeah.
doing that, but
I didn't-
you have to let someone else use it.
I didn't know they had like 6 other or whatever it is,
Yeah.
however many other companies.
At least for
providing
telecommunicate, like cell
internet.
phone stuff, there's a lot of shit
But-
options out there.
For internet, like Wi-Fi, like household shit, like everybody I know that I talk to down in the States
But here
is
there's
Comcast.
there's technically 4, but all 3 of them are owned by the same company.
What is the price point of the companies in the States?
I have
Does
like-
anyone know?
Like they've had unlimited data for 5+ years.
unlimited data.
Unlimited.
And what's the average
Here,
plan price? Like
$25 a person.
$25 a month.
Like it's cheap.
For,
But
like-
again, what you have to factor in is 10 times the amount of people is going to drive the cost of living way the fuck
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
down. A higher dollar, all that shit. But I think if you adjust for all that stuff, we pay. We absolutely in Canada pay
As
the
a
highest
Canadian people. Yeah.
out of telecommunication shit out of anywhere in the world
Yeah.
by far.
Yeah.
And that's strictly due to monopolies that the government allows to run. And that's all. And that shit can easily be changed because there's precedent in other places and there's precedent here for doing that shit. But like, fuck it. We're good.
I'll do a plug right now because I've been using
Perfect.
public.
Plug it 'cause we're done.
I've been
No. We got to do a whiskey review.
oh,
We,
All right,
we-
well,
we
I
talked
won't do
about
the
it.
plug
Just give
anymore.
ratings.
Okay.
You've had a glass.
you know what?
What are
I've
you
been loving
giving?
this.
I'm giving it an 8.4. It's fucking sweet, smooth.
I'll go up
It's
there with
nice.
an 8.9. It's just
8.6.
beautiful. I've been having
8.9, 8.6.
It's dreamless.
Yum.
Just give us a fucking number.
Yummy.
Just put it in there.
I can't. Yeah.
That's
You
too
want me to
long.
put
I'll give it
Yum?
like a 6.4.
Oh,
That's fine.
point? Okay,
Perfect.
cool.
it's
Thanks.
6.4. All right.
Excellent.
All right. We're out. We're cutting it. Hopefully
we've gone
we
over
can,
our time limit. So
we can have
there's
each
friends
of you
here.
on
There's other friends here, that's why.
individually.
yeah. Don't tell them.
But yeah, YouTube at 2 Season of Pod, Facebook 2 Season of Pod,
Hi.
mail.2seasonpod@gmail.com. Send us your comments. Let us know your feedback. We got new mics. This is the first time we've had multiple
How
people
did they sound in your ears? Did they sound
on. It sounds good.
Sound good, but this
But
is going
it's
to be a
like-
disaster, this one.
like,
I think so. Yeah, just like going back and forth, like mic etiquette, like just staying.
Sure.
That's a
Medikit.
that's a literal biggest thing. And Rob coming in here like, hello, every like.
What do you
5
want me to
seconds.
do? Put
And-
this dick in my face? Of course,
Yes.
you're gonna get close.
It's not your first dick in your face. Come on. But yeah, just let us know. Again, it's our first episode with multiple mics on this new setup, so hopefully it's good.
Chaos.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
But anyways,
Thank you.
we're out.
See ya.
Somebody high five me. Get it.
Yay, friends.
Touch tips.